Oh, Jesus.
We are Greenacre Sessions.
Well, there you go. There's that. Someone get off the fire hose on him. He didn't get it all off. I did. The Duke. Duke, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Everybody, welcome on the show. Our mod and our friend and the host of Sports on the Hill podcast. I think I did that right.
You did.
Motherfucking Robbie Gross! There he is, everybody. There he is. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, I am the Most High. Robbie, thank you for coming on the show, my friend. And you know, yeah, I still expect you to do your duty as a mod. I want you to know that you're not getting off the...
Of course, I'm still here in chat. You know, I'm watching for those trolls.
You're not off the hook, buddy. I am doing well, Duke. I am doing very well. I meant to microdose today, but I ended up macrodosing on accident. So I'm still on the the effects of it is sort of still waving through. And it didn't help that I ate a couple more caps right before I popped on. So, hey, it's going to be that kind of show today.
That's fantastic.
Oh, don't.
I may have partaked a little bit of myself before I jumped on.
That's okay. That's okay. It's all good. We're here to bond and to get to know you. And wow, I had no idea. You listen, Reina, there's things you have no idea about who I am and what I do, okay? You don't know all of this. You can't fathom all that goes on in this mind. It would melt your face. Melt your face. Anyways, Robbie, who I don't know. I don't know
take you
anymore.
Seriously.
I don't even know anymore, Reina. I've de-atomized into someone else. I'm 5 years deep into a DMT trip, living another life somewhere on a cottage on a lake somewhere. I have a whole nother family. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard people like taking DMT and like they live like a whole life? They have like a whole life that they live. Like they have like a family, they have an apartment, you know, they build, they have neighbors, they have full relationships. And then all of a sudden they get sucked out and back into their reality. And it's like, what the fuck just happened? Have you heard any of that before?
I have not, but I can only imagine, right? So, I mean, I've gone on some interesting journeys in my life for sure. And it's, you know, drugs are a crazy thing, right? So
they're a hell of a thing. They're a hell of a thing. DMT, different life. Lived. I don't know. Hold on. Survey, entity, encounter, experiences. DMT feels like a dying. That was an episode of Star Trek. Probably. No, I remember reading this article. I can't remember who it was. It was this guy who fucking he smoked DMT with his friends, and he went and had this whole life. And like he was telling people in this other life, is like, no, I'm not this guy. I'm not this human being. Like, I have a whole nother life. I don't know what's going on. And they have like a whole career. And like, he like goes through like the motions. I think he works at like a law firm or some shit. He goes through all the motions and like, he has no idea what his life is. And finally, you know, like people are worried for him. He has friends. He has a whole like network of friends like that he just doesn't even know. And like, they all know him. And then fucking, wow. You know, eventually as years go by or months even go by, he fucking is like, oh, okay, I guess I am this. I guess I am this guy who is, you know, who is a lawyer. And, you know, eventually he gets good at his job and he meets a girl and he falls in love and they have children and fucking, you know, they buy a nice house. And then fucking one day he's staring at a lamp and fucking it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And all of a sudden he fucking comes out of it and he's fucking back with his friends who they were smoking DMT with. And he's just like, what the fuck? And they were just like, oh, you were gone for like, you know, like 10 minutes. What happened? You know, and in 10 minutes, he had this whole life. and to the point where he mourned. He was mourning his family that he lost, his daughter, his son, his life, his friends. You know, he had a whole life that he left behind. And it was something that he had to come to terms with, and it's very interesting. I mean, the mind is a powerful thing, you know. It's like, 'cause it's not all just drugs, you know. It's not all just drugs that are doing it. I mean, because you could have dreams, right? That like, have you had any dreams that were like so real, and you woke up and you're just like, what the fuck, you know, like.
I've met some famous people in dreams, and I wake up and I'm like, damn, that was a fun time, and I'm like, man, that would have been cool for that to be in the reality. But like, I mean, I've been there before in college and, you know, life, in a previous life, where you go through a trip and it's like you really like deconstruct your entire existence, and you come back and you feel like you conquered like this incredible journey that feels like years or millennia has passed, but in reality it's been like an hour. And and so it's, you know, yeah, it's something I would not do to this day. I think it's terrifying to trip with children. You know,
yeah.
but, so like, but you know, back in college, I learned a lot about myself through things like that, for sure.
Well,
so.
you know what? I'm an irresponsible asshole, I suppose. I'm over here fucking doing this. I had work to do this morning, okay? I had things to do, folks, so I had to fucking sort of get into the vibe, man, and fucking and it actually came out really well. Because I was working on a song for a friend, and it came out really, really well. The whole the song came out good. So like, I was really happy with the product and with the work that I did this morning. And then we went for a walk, and I watched Reina fall on roller skates like 12 times. That was awesome. So it was a great day. And Robbie's gone. Thank you, Robbie.
Yeah, no, sorry, my dog just knocked over my glass of water. Hold on, I'll be right back.
You're good, brother. You're good. Did you read about them trying to do this as a punishment for prisoners? Weird dystopian stuff? No. This was somebody who actually wrote like a blog about it. I wish I could find it. DMT, Different Life, blog. What could I blog? Life lived. Maybe Power Downfall of the Psychedelics. My Trip, 3 tips before you take the plunge. Ayahuasca retreat. Strange entities. Man, I want to find this fucking blog. He wrote this blog and I read it. I don't know. It was a long time ago, but I thought it was amazing. Making them serve their sentences faster IRL, but not like inside them. They were inside them in prison. Somebody was inside them. It's a thought experiment. Never mind. It might be Reina out of the balance. Yeah. Oh, knows. Well, here's the thing. Reina is the responsible one. And like Robbie, she's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not fucking doing those things with a son around. So, you know, luckily I have a responsible human being that's around that I don't have to worry about, things going wrong. But again, I didn't take too much. It meant to be a microdose. It was a little bit more than a micro. It was like, you know, it was supposed to be a micro, and I was just like, well, I think that's okay. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay, well, this is where I'm at now. All right. I think he was probably just watching Star Trek while he was down. Listen, the Duke, you don't know, okay? You don't know the things I've read on the internet. Posted a link in Discord. Vice even reported on it. Oh, Morby, on the case. Hold on, let's go look at it. Yes, there it is. Oh, you did something else. That's not it. This is interesting. Well, let's go over here and read about this. Morby dropped something in the Discord, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. That lady is crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just reading the side things here. We're jumping right in, Robbie, and
yeah, that's fine. Sorry about that. Literally, I knew we were going to talk about water today. I had no idea that she would knock my entire water over all the electronics. So I had to get
right. We are going to talk about water and oceans, because we do need to talk about the ocean, because it is getting dicked over right now, and we do need to go over that. But Morby dropped this in the Discord, and so
yeah, for sure.
What is this? Could mind jail and psychoactive drugs fix overcrowded prisons? I don't think so. But let's find out.
My God, it's not.
Robbie's like, yeah, I'm betting on no. A team of scholars at Oxford, led by philosopher Rebecca Roche, we're going with that, recently proposed the concept of using psychoactive drugs and futuristic technologies like mind transfer to trick a prisoner's brain into thinking they've been in prison for 1,000 years, even if it's only been a few hours. Oh, fuck, that would suck. After the initial shock that this may even be possible, the idea raises an interesting question. Could this be a way to get people in and out of prison quicker, in essence solving the overcrowding problem in today's prisons? I see. So instead of like having people high off their asses while they serve their sentences, you're sort of imposing a like 1,000-year sentence in a few days or a few hours, and then just sending them on their way. Like, no, don't do that again. And I don't know. What do you think? If someone gave you a bunch of drugs, do you think that you would not commit crimes again, Robbie?
I mean, I guess it depends on the drug, right? But so it might make me commit more crimes.
Exactly. Yeah. Here's some crack cocaine. Never do this again.
Right. So no, I don't think that would work for me for sure. I mean, we could talk about this for a long time, but I think some things that are criminalized now shouldn't be. And some drugs, I think that there is it is correct that we limit the usage of them. Let me let my dog out.
Sure, no problem. Do your thing, baby. Do your thing. No worries. No, like I could say, like, what was that Black Mirror episode where somebody they had like a little helper, right? And you could like make it so it was it was the guy from that TV show where they smoked in the offices. John Hamm. John Hamm was in the episode. And it was like this. It was like a Google, like a Google, like Hey Google, like a Google Nest or something, but in the future or something. And it was like a clone of his mind. And so it was meant to be like an assistant. And you could, and to punish him, he was like, well, here, enjoy 1,000 years by yourself, stupid. And then and it was only 5 minutes for him, and it was 1,000 years for like little him. And he's just like, oh my God, oh Jesus, please don't do that again. I don't know. Don't do it again or you'll get eternal punishment. Holy ish. At this point, it might be kinder to just kill them. Yeah, it might be. 1,000 years would probably make them worse. How is that helping? I don't know. We should find out. We should read on. I mean, I just started judging this right away before I even read it. I was just like, well, fuck that. Oh, I have to see this episode. I love John Hamm. Yeah, and I also like ham. So yes, you should. Okay. I actually don't like ham, everybody.
Yeah, we speak English good. Judging something before you read on never happened before on this show.
when I posed the question to criminal justice expert David Mlina, he was reticent. Is that how you say it? Reticent? My God, I am a fucking dummy. No one can read it but me. Sorry, everybody.
Is it reticent?
Reticent. Thank you, Robbie. Robbie's educated, so he'll be our English speaker today. Reticent. Jesus Christ, I am just out of this world. Let me see. He was reticent to go that far. I think that we should have caution with that approach. He told me there's going to be no silver bullet in solving how many people we have in prison. There are currently 2.4 million people behind bars in the U.S., more than any other country in the world. Since the onset of the war on drugs, the prison population has risen 700%. Housing and feeding convicts cost taxpayer $51 billion a year for drug-related offenses alone. It's a problem begging for a solution. There is a lot of people in prison, low-level drug offenders that probably don't need to be in prison, who would probably be better served through another type of personal treatment. So could using medical technology to rethink punishment be the solution? In an interview with Aeon magazine, Roche said that certain psychoactive drugs could make someone feel like they are serving a 1,000-year sentence. She also talked about artificial life extension. Okay, so now we're getting into the Black Mirror shit here. Have you seen that episode, Robbie? A Black Mirror? Okay.
I don't watch Black Mirror, but
Oh,
I
fuck.
heard some crazy things about it.
The first episode is fucking terrible. I was like, what am I watching? It's literally like some dude fucking a pig. Literally. Literally. It's a dude fucking a pig. I'm like, this is fucking terrible. I don't know if I could go on. But if you get past the pig fucking, Robbie, it's something to behold. Many psychoactive drugs, even well-known ones like acid and mushrooms, cause time dilation. Time is relative. Oh, thank you. And these drugs can affect the way your neurons are interacting in a way that makes time feel like it's going much slower. Furthermore, some not yet developed psychoactive drugs could cause you to go into a multi-day hallucinatory experience like a dream, where you're living out in uninterrupted weeks of living in your mind. Roche also proposed the concept of uploading your brain. Okay, so here's the Black Mirror stuff. If you could upload a prisoner's brain to a computer by matching the ways the neurons and other aspects of the brain operate, the person could live indefinitely. Someone that lives indefinitely could be punished indefinitely. A virtual reality game that you can't get out of no matter how much you want to. Theoretically, then, we could punish people quickly in a made-up world that they're only in for a day or two, but said it's not as simple as that. One of the major benefits of incarceration is taking violent people off the streets, he said. As for nonviolent offenders, people that are primarily hurting themselves, they probably shouldn't end up there at all. He went on, prisons are a scarce resource and we need to incarcerate the worst first. I agree with that. The other obvious problem with medicating criminals is that it's never been done before. And so we're unaware of long-term effects. Are there side effects we don't know about? How long would it take us to know if there are side effects? Said blah, blah, blah. Roche claims that tinkering with the mind to alter a prison system is only a scary idea because it's new. But I'd argue it's just scary, period. Imagine the streets seething with half lobotomized ex-cons that we decided to do some experiments on. Can we even imprison them at that point? We could blame them for their actions after having their mind fooled into thinking they were locked up for 1,000 years. So yeah, that's wild. That's wild shit. I don't know. I don't know if that's the way to do things, but I could see it. I could see it happening. What do you think, Robbie? Did you know much about Neuralink? Have you heard about Neuralink?
No, all of this is news to me. I have never heard about any of this.
Holy shit, Robbie, where are you? Oh yeah, you're a sports podcast. He's like, I like sports, bro. What do you want? No, I'm sorry. This is all wild to me too. Let's see, 51 billion, Mamma Mia. It's so much more fucked up than I thought. That would be maybe 100 years of therapy. Have you ever seen Without Bias? It's about Len Bias, who died. Oh, it's about Len Bias, who died a few days after the NBA draft. Laws were written soon after. One of the people who helped him write those laws ended up going to prison for lying about his qualifications to have the job. The laws stayed in place. Anyways, this is Robbie's life, right? This is Robbie's line of work. So are you familiar with Len Bias, or is that?
I mean, I know who Len Bias is. I don't know about that part of it, no. But that's interesting for sure.
We'll take the people out of the overcrowded prisons and put them in psych wards. Great, problem solved. I agree, Morby. I agree. Let's just drug them up, put them in asylums, and then we'll just forget about them. And then they can't hurt anybody else or themselves, hopefully.
I mean, it just fix one overcrowded system with another.
Yeah. And meanwhile, people, the government, judges and Congress people and people who make the laws will be making money on the back end. As they fill up these psych wards, just like in real life, just like prisons. Wow, that was so clunky. But you get the idea. Not funny, but you get the idea. But no, Neuralink, man. You've never heard of Neuralink?
I have not.
Have you ever heard of Elon Musk?
Yes, I do.
He's like, yes, I do know him. I do know Elon.
The real life Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Yeah, some see him as that, right? Some see him
Right.
as like a evil guy who's
I
fucking
still don't know what he's doing with Twitter. Why is he buying it for like higher than the cost? I mean, one of
his
my friends thinking he's gonna use it as like a login way to like log into that internet that he's creating with satellites. So
it could be a gateway for that. I'm not sure. And what he said publicly is that it needs to be an open forum for people to come on and have real conversations. Because as of right now, if you say anything that's outside of a certain narrative, you are immediately banned or kicked off. A good example of this is how people were getting kicked off or banned for saying that the COVID, I'm not trying to talk about COVID, but this is just an example, that the COVID 19 virus came from a lab leak. Saying that or putting that on Twitter could get you banned. And then a few months later, or even now, it's a plausible idea. And you won't be banned. So there's certain things that can't be talked about, and he sees it as almost a danger to democracy if you don't have a public forum for people to be able to talk and discern what the truth is, and that that goes for assholes who want to say awful things. But I mean, of course, there's guidelines you have to stick by, and I think that people are thinking that he wants to just let Donald Trump back on, and he wants to say the N word and the F slur.
yeah, that seems like a really expensive way to have that happen.
Right,
I mean,
right.
I just don't. I mean, like, who's spending billions of dollars, if not, more, to try? I just think there's got to be another reason. I mean, I love the idea of freedom of speech and that there should be platforms out there. I'm not the biggest Twitter fan. I
Yeah,
have Twitter, and I use it occasionally, but I feel like it's kind of a toxic cesspool at times, where just people like try to like go down further and further into the basement of humanity, and just try to. I mean, talk about trolls. I mean, I know we have to deal with trolls sometimes on Twitch, but like, holy moly, like the average person seems to be a troll on that platform. And
Right.
I appreciate trying to save, freedom of speech, although it's kind of a weird thing, right? Because that's an American ideal that, not every country even subscribes to. And,
Right.
but why would you spend that much money to save the freedom of speech on the internet? For me, there's got to be a better economic reason for him to spend that kind of money. There's something. I mean, that's a great public reason to give, and it sounds wonderful. But like, to me, there's more to this story than that.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. He could also be that person who who has all the money in the world, and he doesn't really care anymore about that, and he cares more about maybe, but again, he's a capitalist, and I see what you're saying. But maybe he does actually care. I mean, the things that sort of made America great and sort of rise to the top, and not that we're at the top anymore, but at one point, we were at the top, was this idea that we had freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and the freedom to sort of make mistakes and to say things and have people, respond and be like, hey, that's not right, and be able to have these debates in a public square. And sort of get to this central idea. It also allowed freedom of innovation, like a freedom to innovate and make the coolest music, make the world's most advanced technology at times, space travel. The idea that freedom of speech and freedom of thought has sort of elevated America to this position where people, I mean, even at our right now, people still want to come here, even though fucking everybody seems like Americans hate America right now, but and the world might hate us too, but like they still want to come here, they still want to take our music, they still want to use our art, they still want to appropriate our art and culture, and there's something to be said by that. And I think a key to that was the idea that we had the freedom to sort of to expand on ideas and to go as far as we wanted with them without much impedance, as long as it wasn't hurting people or hurting others and.
I'll let my dog back in, but I'm listening.
Sure. So I mean, I think in some aspects maybe that's why. I don't know, but he could be right. It could be like. He could be wanting Twitter as a way to use Neuralink to sort of tap into everyone's mind. Have you ever seen that South Park episode where I think it had Alec Baldwin in it, and they drilled holes in your head, and you could? Have you ever
I
seen
mean, it
that?
sounds like the Matrix. I mean,
It
you
is the
know, like,
Matrix. It is. So
yeah.
Neuralink is literally they want to drill a hole in your head and put little tiny fucking nodes into your brain and fucking like and you're basically hardwired into the internet now and hardwired into what they want to use it for at this point is what they're saying is they want to get people who can't walk to walk again. They did these experiments where they had like pigs where it was predictive movements and stuff that I can't even explain or recreate, obviously. Because
Have you ever, I don't know if you watch anime at all, but
a
Ghost
little
in the
bit.
Shell, which was, basically what the Matrix in some ways was based off of,
Mm,
right? So it was the idea that we would have the internet basically implanted into our brains. And so there were, people out there trying to hack each other's brains
right.
and stuff like that. And so I guess I worry about, how we would be. I mean, I think we're already very connected to each other. I think the idea that any of these neural links could then be online and somebody could hack your brain, I'd like to try to avoid that at all costs. I mean, but obviously if we're trying to fix things that need to get fixed in your body, I think it sounds good. But what sort of level of autonomy do we have on our bodies versus giving outside people access to all that? So
Right. I mean, we're worried about our data now, right? Like, oh, they're getting our data. Get your VPN, bro, because they're getting our
right.
data. Imagine them getting your fucking innermost, deepest thoughts and then exploiting those, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
Robbie had a thought that he wanted to go kick his neighbor in the balls because his neighbor, fucking his tree grew over the property line. Oh, fuck you, Robbie. Like now Robbie's the bad guy. Let's go arrest Robbie for having
It's like
thought crimes.
Minority Report, right? Where
Yes.
like they try to future predict what the crimes are going to be. So
Imagine banning or gifting subs with just a thought. Listen, I'm here for it. Honestly, I'm here for it. I am ready for that. Like, fucking log me in, bitches. I'm ready to fucking upload me to the server. I'll live forever. I'll watch all my family members die off. I'll watch my body decay, and fucking I'll be out in the fucking Matrix living my best life. Here I am, folks. This is it.
I feel like it'd be lonely to be everywhere at once.
I guess it would be, but if you have other people that are logged in as well, then you're sort of doing it together, right?
Potentially, unless you end up not liking them, then you got to live through eternity with the virtual somebody you don't
But
like.
if you're able to create worlds that you want to live in, then you're able to sort of create your own world as you go. What's up, Primordial? Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank
Right.
you so much for being here, and good to see you. I mean, so if you were with somebody that you didn't like, or if someone was annoying you, you could literally just go to and create another island for yourself where other people could inhabit it. It's sort of like Roblox, or any of those kind of games where you can build, worlds or games in the gaming universe, and if people really like your world, they'll come and hang out. Or if it's or like podcasts, right? If people like the podcast that you make, people will come and hang out. People will come and listen. People will download the episode. So I imagine that you could probably just create your own world at will as you go. And you
Yeah,
could.
we talked about Oculus while I've been in chat, but I mean, it's pretty incredible what you can do in these virtual reality worlds. I mean, I was playing with 3D SketchUp or whatever it's called, and felt like I was Tony Stark, like creating stuff and like pushing it away and rescaling it. And I mean, I can only be in it for 30 minutes to an hour before you start to get sick,
Yeah.
just because it's very intense.
Right.
And I'm trying to keep it away from my 3.5-year-old at all costs, because I don't want, like, he is a hard time grasping our reality. I can't even imagine what happens when he jumps into the virtual space.
Right.
And it's just been really interesting to see this technology evolve, because once upon a time you had to plug it into a computer and it was very cumbersome, and you had to have cameras watching your and tracking your space. But now with these Oculus, you could just draw a little boundary box in the game and jump into a world, and you can draw other boundary boxes through the house, and I can walk through the house in and out of boundary boxes, and see people for a little bit and then jump back into the virtual. I mean, it's some crazy stuff, and this is just the beginning, right? So like I can only imagine, but I like that better, where it's your choice to put on the mask and jump into that world, and you can still exist in that world, but you can also unplug, and you have to know that you have no tether to it anymore. I'm more about that, I think.
I think you're right. I think you're right about that. But I do find it fascinating because we still like I remember hearing Elon Musk on an interview where he's talking about like the interface. We already have like the world in our hands, right? But the interface is slow. So being able to TOS, yes, VR prone. But see, that's the thing. Like, what would that be like cheating if you're out like fucking in your Neuralink world and you're out there banging other bots or whatever you're doing? Is that cheating? Are you gonna come back into the real world and your wife is gonna be like, where you been? Why is your pants all wet and moist? Why is it smell in the room? Why is it smell in here? Why does that smell? I don't know. Like that one Black Mirror episode. Yes. We were just talking about Black Mirror, the one with John Hamm, where he punishes his little his little Google Nest guy, his little assistant. I think so. I think I'm getting that right. I'm pretty sure it's the one with John Hamm in it. But yeah, no, it's fucking wild. It's wild. Have you seen the new Blade Runner? I want a joy.
Oh, I have not seen it, actually.
I was gonna watch it the other day, but then I TikToked.
That sounds like I used to do this, but I got high. But it's like the new,
Yeah, well, I stopped smoking weed, so like now I'm just
TikTok's your new addiction.
Well, it's been my addiction since the fucking pandemic. I mean, like
I've avoided the toxic tick. I have not gotten on that platform. It's like that's all I need. I'm already on too many platforms. I was like, I
feel you. I feel you. Yeah. There's a lot of people who are reluctant to get on there, but I really like it because first of all, I've never, my algorithm is programmed to like lots of gay content. There's lots of homosexual men on my algorithm, like conservative homosexual men, like conservative black people, and I'm not a conservative dude. Like, what is happening here? Why do I have like conservative gay black guys on my algorithm?
Maybe the algorithm's watching your show, and
yeah, but that's the problem. Like, that's the thing. Like, I get fucking Mythic Politics called me a chud. He was like, "You're a fucking chud," and I'm just like, "Fuck you." I don't even know what that is. I had to go Google it. It was like, I don't think I'm a chud, but am I a chud? I'm not a chud.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm a chud because I'm totally about like fucking leveling the playing field and making things right for everybody and equality for all. And like I don't subscribe to this whole like fucking let's put limitations on what people want to do in their own lives. Like if a parent and a kid wants to fucking turn their little boy into a little girl, I don't give a fuck. This is America. Why do I give a fuck what you're doing with your kid? I look at it probably more from almost even a libertarian stance. Like, I could give a shit less what you do to your children. That's your fucking. As long as you're not beating the fuck out of them or killing. But even if you're doing that, I mean, there's like, I feel bad for those kids, but like, that's not my problem. That's not me. That's not what I'm doing. There's laws in place for that. But to tell people they can't, do that to their children, you can't turn them into the opposite sex. I don't give a fuck. Like, who gives a shit?
Well,
like,
I've always been of the belief that the government should stay out of all of our bodies,
exactly.
Right? No matter what it is. It's a person's decision, and why a legislature makes any decisions about anybody else's body except for to let them have the ability to protect their own, is beyond me. I guess I take a quote unquote libertarian view upon that as well, right? Yeah. So like it's tough, right? Because I mean the two politics system is pitted all these people against each other that ends up probably being more alike than not. but
Yeah.
it's just easier to be like us versus them, and it feeds the machine. I worked in politics for years before my current job, and watching people tear each other down and build each other up, and different groups, and I mean that's the whole game, right? And I got sick of photoshopping shit about Obama, and I was like, I was like, I'm done. I was a Republican that I was working for, and I was like, it's not a great use of my time. Like I just don't feel great about what I'm doing.
Well, you brought this up in chat before, but you used to work for Newt Gingrich, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. As you know what? I'm gonna watch it, Morby. I'm gonna watch the new one. It's probably a little artsy farty, but hey, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for artsy farty. Listen, the other one, the old Blade Runner, is that the one where he's on Mars and his eyes explode, like with Arnold? I can't remember. Or is that the one with fucking Harrison Ford? I can't
No,
remember.
it's Blade Runner is Harrison Ford,
There
but
you
I'm
go.
now curious about the movie you just mentioned. I want to see that one.
Yeah, let's see that one. Yeah. Oh, that's Total Recall. Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, the one
Okay.
with Arnold and Mars and stuff. That is not Blade Runner. You described first. Okay, thank you, Morby. I'm just listen. I'm in another universe as it is. Okay, I'm trying to hold it together here. I
You're
don't
doing
know.
great.
I don't know what possessed me to eat a couple more caps before I jumped on. I was like, oh, this should work. I'm good. But no, like so. I mean, I kind of want to talk to you about your time with Newt Gingrich because I mean, he was the Speaker of the House for many years, and
Yeah, for
he was a
sure.
very
Yeah,
powerful member of of our political system here. What was that
yeah,
like?
it was really cool actually, especially as like a first job out of college. I really I learned a lot in it, right? So I was one of his web designers and helped run his online store. And like it's always interesting to see politics because I think that he's actually like a really good person, right? But I think that a lot of people don't agree necessarily with his politics.
Right.
And I don't think I agree with his politics all the time either. But it was really cool to help get him to Fox News appearances and meet the people and be behind the scenes and help. He's written so many books, both fiction and nonfiction. And some people really like the alternate history books that he wrote. He did a bunch of series on that.
Oh,
and
cool.
so it was cool to like if Gettysburg, if like different battles happen different ways, and
Right.
so he's a historian first, and he's one of the best war historians in the country, actually knows about a lot of that stuff. And I mean, especially being Speaker of the House for, a while and being a House member for, I believe, over 20 years, you learn a lot about war and about, how our society deals with it and about culture. And, he's a really, really smart guy. He knows how to, play the situation. At the time he was running 4 different companies, and so I was helping him manage that as one of his staffers.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
it was an intense time, especially leading up to the election. The time that I was doing it was right around Obama, and I remember being with him in the room when McCain announced his running mate, which was a very interesting time. Because she could see Russia from there. But it's just it's an interesting to be in politics and see some of the inner workings. And obviously I've always lived in outside DC, other than I went to college in Philadelphia, but I've always lived in this area. And so world politics and US politics are all part of our local news, right?
Yeah.
It's a part of the fabric of living in Washington D.C. and it's been really cool. My dad worked in politics as well. We've talked about that before, but it's
he's
been
deep
really
state.
interesting, right? Deep state, right? It was really cool to sort of see parts of that, but then I do love what I currently do, working for a school and helping to market a place that's like more important to me. I believe in the value and the helping kids. And for me, I think that I loved it. I mean, flying in private jets and getting to go and, film things alongside CNN and, being a part of that everyday hustle. I mean, it was all whole day thing. It was just like run and gun. I don't even know how somebody in their 60s was doing it, alongside me. I was in my 20s and I was exhausted. And, yeah, exactly. So like, I think it was just black coffee, but like it was
same
just,
thing.
intense. And but I learned a lot being inside politics and being a part of that process.
But,
And yeah.
from being on the inside. And hi, Lovely Lace. Good to see you. Our first mod, one of our first mod, Lovely Lace is in the house. Welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. Um, being moving Dutchman. Thank you so much for gift subbing, Lovely Lace. I appreciate that, my friend. You're such a gentleman and a scholar. Being on the inside of politics, you were mentioning how Newt was a really good guy. Just people that did you feel like is it like professional wrestling? Like, because you hear this analogy a lot, but I mean, I don't know. Like,
I do sometimes. I mean, I never talked about it with him, so I
uh
never like said, is this a scripted,
yeah,
show? But you do see him turn it on. I'll say, like, his ability to do things in a single take. Like, I would record things that would go on our YouTube channel or on the website or whatever.
yeah,
His ability to think through an entire 5-minute video on the spot and just go was incredible, right? I mean, it would take me multiple takes to do that. I mean, I guess I practice now doing a podcast and you get that over time, but just really incredible ability to just turn it on, have answers, I rarely did a second take with him. We had a teleprompter. Sometimes he would even just read off of the teleprompter and just nail it. And that's a skill, right?
It
And
is.
and same thing with his Fox News appearances. So there was a little bit of this, playing to your base and playing to, the people that, that support you. And I think that he comes off a little bit more gruff and personality wise when you watch him on TV. He's just a hardline guy, believes in what he believes in, and is very he's convicted in his beliefs, right?
Yeah.
He's just like really, it takes it to his core. But when you talk to him, he's like a grandpa to me. Like we'd have these really wonderful conversations on these like airplanes sitting next to each other when there's no one around, sipping on champagne or whatever. And just like, you can really get to know somebody in those moments.
Yes.
And like, it was cool because we could talk about life and culture and family and, all the things that really matter to him that you don't really get to say on Fox News in your soundbite or in your books even about history or whatever. So it is, I mean, these people, they're obviously multidimensional, right? That you see an aspect of them just like we do. I mean, when you turn on the camera, when I turn on the camera, we've talked about this in the past. Reina has mentioned on her show that it takes you a couple minutes to get into that mindset, right? You just can't be like called into an interview and be on air in that moment. And I do too, right? It's a transition period. I think so. Everybody has a private life that they keep private and, with family and there's a part of their life that can be made public if they have a persona like you and I do. So, it's an interesting transition. I definitely learned a lot, working as part of that.
Yeah, man, that is so fascinating to me. Like just being on the inside of that. And we're gonna shout out Robbie. Robbie's a streamer here, everybody, and also exclamation point Robbie Gross RG. They'll bring up his website, which is Sports on the Hill Podcast, which I think I think your like tagline or something is like, all the sports without the politics or something.
Yeah,
like
DC sports without the politics. Yeah.
that.
Because like there's such a political area around here and it influences even in the sports talk. You feel like there's these big companies that obviously jump in and it's a big marketplace. I mean, DC is it's a small town, but it's still a big market, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
DC is a weird city. If people don't know, I know it's an international podcast. DC itself is pretty tiny, right? Because it's only a certain amount of land taken away from Maryland, and it was supposed to be taken from Virginia, and then they took it back. So it's mostly from Maryland, just this really thin sliver of space. And but the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area has a huge population. So it might only be a couple 100,000 that are actually in the city, but it balloons up. Same thing like New York City does too in the daytime to a couple million people, right? So, I mean, it's a big difference between the nighttime and daytime populations of DC, and I noticed that being a part of the people going downtown to work for Newt, during the day, and the metro and the sort of our driving system it's difficult,
It's awful
around here
it's
because
fucking terrible. I hate it.
it's really bad. So I'm happy that I just take back roads to where I work, and I don't have to deal with any of that now.
Nice.
But it's really, there is so much like gotcha news, and like how can we spin things, and how can we be the first to talk about it, and our football owner has a ton of issues, and so that constantly is harped upon, and I feel like everyone's talking about the owner and the issues with the teams and all that, but they don't really spend the time really focusing on the wins and losses and like how to become better. And so we really wanted to make a podcast that was really focused around that, like really supporting your team, not being so much a homer, right? I consider myself a fan. It's a fan-based podcast, but it's I'm not like saying we're the best all the time, even when we don't make the playoffs or whatever. We're going to be very real with our assessment, but it's really not focusing out from the political side of it, like who's going to get the next stadium deal and who's going to all that sort of stuff. We try to keep out of it. It's really like a weekly snapshot of how all of our teams are doing and what we have to do going forward for the next week. Right. Yeah. So it's a 2-hour show that's focused mostly around that. We also talk about some world sports like the Olympics and other things, because there's actually a lot of fantastic Olympians that came from Maryland, Michael Phelps and many others. And we also sometimes talk World Cup and some other international things, or like March Madness, things that still have local schools involved, but more of a wider range topic. But our focus weekly is definitely primarily on the 4 major sports teams of DC. And we actually do this thing called the District of Champions. And so we've actually gotten to cover these 3 as they've won championships. And it's been cool. We've grown a lot over the years. It's much more on Facebook than it is on Twitch, but on Twitch we just hit 300 this week, so I appreciate all the people that come support.
I came in late. Here we go.
There you go.
It was necessary for everyone to hear that.
Right. And so it's cool because you follow these teams like the Nationals, for example. You see the World Series championship design over, I guess it's this way, and it's really cool to be a part of that. People don't realize they were doing terrible earlier in the season, and everyone kind of had written them off. And my co-host said, "You know what? I think they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to win it all, or at least win a round in the playoffs." And sure enough, they won it all that year. And they were a bunch of old guys that no one gave them any credit for. And it's just kind of cool to be on the record, talking weekly about it. And you never know if we're going to be right on a topic. Same thing with the Capitals. We got to follow their whole run, and we've gotten to interview some really cool people over the years. We had a person who was part of the U.S. women's hockey gold medal team for the Olympics, and she's a diehard Caps fan. So we got her on in the lead up to winning the Stanley Cup. So that was really fun. And we've gotten people from the team is now called the Commanders. It was once called the Redskins or the Washington football team. We've covered them with 3 different names now. It was cool to get her. Julie Donaldson. She was the first female VP of a team, and she came in and is like really righting the ship and does the radio broadcast. And we got to interview her in her very first year working in that role, and getting to see that. And other broadcasters have come on our show and stuff like that. So it's been cool. We also got to cover the Valor, which is an indoor football team. Unfortunately, the Reina Football League kind of folded a couple of years ago, but their run from just starting and then 2 years later winning the championship. And we got to be actual press reporters for that, going into my favorite stadiums and interviewing the players and the coaches and stuff like that. So it's been really cool to watch it start off as a really small podcast and then be able to get to be a part of the media of a lot of these teams.
Yeah, what does it take to get like a press pass? Do you have like what is it? What are the standards?
Right. So it depends on the sport that we're talking about. So each one has different rules. So arena football doesn't have quite the same following as like an NHL or an NBA team. And so there is less media from a national news point of view, so they can give away more press passes to things like that. So I contacted some people at Monumental Sports. It's a company that owns the Mystics, which is the women's basketball team, the Capitals, which is the men's hockey team, and also own the Valor, and they actually own the Baltimore Brigade too, which was another football team in Baltimore. So it's interesting that you could own multiple teams in that league. And so they gave, since we were starting off from the ground up and they wanted exposure, obviously, and I talked to them about how we had covered the Capitals and the Wizards for the previous 3 years up until that point. And they said, sure, we would love the coverage. And so they let us, and I, in fact, got the play-by-play announcer, Grant, who is a big radio personality in the Washington, D.C. area, to come on, and he was the play-by-play for the Valor, and so we got to talk about them from the initial season. Some of the other bigger ones, like the NBA and the NHL, you need to have a 10,000 person following on a blog, and there's some other rules. So we're not quite to that level yet, but we're building that direction, and I think it's been fun. I especially like sharing the Capitals podcast to Capitals groups throughout Facebook and getting their input on it. I think that they particularly like the fact they can ask a question and people will answer it or give them the time of day. I mean, we started this whole thing as a call-in radio show, and it was online, and people could call in, and I would let them actually say something for more than just 2 minutes, because for a long time you call into a radio program and they'll give you your 2 minutes to sound off on something and then click, and then they'll talk about what you talked about. And that's it. That's all you get. Even if it was a brilliant thing that you said, and maybe if you've done it 10, 15 times and they like you, maybe they give you like 4 minutes, or maybe they'll give you a 7-minute segment at, most, but like, it's really not a lot of time to talk to these people and get an in-depth thing where we let people come on and talk 10, 15 minutes about it. We've been able to grow a team of, now we have 15 people on our show. Whoa. And different people come on every week, and we'll have roundtables of 3 or 4 people talk about different sports, good friends of mine. And so we used to do it here in the man cave, which is what we call this studio that I'm in right now. But now we moved to Zoom, and so that it makes it even easier for them weekly to jump on and jump onto one segment. We have different people for different segments talking about different sports, and it's really cool. They can just jump in and out of that Zoom link, and we can really have full conversations with them and get to know them over the course of a couple of weeks and their fandom, and take questions if they don't want to come on live on video, from chat, both on Facebook or on Twitch.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Like I love that. I love hearing just those kind of organic growths like that. That's the coolest shit, man. It's like some of these podcasts that come out now, they get funding or they get back, Spotify, will back these like Obama, right? Obama, and they're canceling Obama now. They're like, which was like pissed a bunch of people off, because they're like, on Twitter, it pissed a bunch of people off on Twitter, and we all know that Twitter.
What doesn't piss off a bunch of people on Twitter, right? That's
well, they're just like they're like, how is Joe Rogan's trans hating ass still on Spotify, but they're gonna cancel fucking Obama, and the reality is fucking ratings, right? It's right. Ratings.
Was Obama doing well? I don't even know. I didn't even know Obama had a podcast until just now. So.
Exactly. I tried watching his nature show on Netflix. I couldn't even watch it. I love Obama. I love Obama. Like, that was the thing. I love Obama, but Obama was great at one
people. Yeah, exactly. People are good at what they do. Maybe he's not a good nature channel, guide.
He's not a great content creator, but he was a great politician.
Right. It's interesting, right? We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. I think you got to play to that, and it's tough. It's not easy creating content, doing interviews, and being a part of that. It's fun to be a guest, because it's always very stressful sometimes being a host and having to come up with content and where the conversation is going to go next, and making sure that everybody gets airtime. I mean, mine has roundtables of 4 or 5 people sometimes, and you want to make sure that everyone's getting their word in. And so it's really, seeing it from this perspective makes me really appreciate what ESPN and what a lot of those programs are doing when they've got 4 or 5 voices, and they're trying to really evenly space it out and make it seem cohesive and not jumping on each other and not, stepping on each other's toes and, cutting each other off. It's not easy.
Yeah, for sure. And welcome, Chris Thompson. It's nice to see you. And Oshi, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. USA should be making Iron Man suits. Fair enough. I agree. We should be putting all our resources into fucking making Iron Man suits so we could fucking. I think Elon Musk is doing that. What isn't Elon Musk doing? Like he just.
Is it for fighting? Is it for flying? What are we making the Iron Man suits for?
Elon Musk is making an actual robot for what did he call it? A time of abundance, and he wants it so they're doing menial tasks like they're going to the store and shopping and fucking building stuff. Like he wants to send these drones off, these bots off to Mars, have them build stuff, and then I'm guessing he probably wants to sell that real estate once they see these bots making stuff. People are going to want to invest in that, and it's probably another money making scheme. But
are the Mars rocks? Can they be melted down to something? Can we like use those as a resource? I'm just.
I don't know how they plan on getting resources out there. Hold on. What is the Elon? Oh, it's a Tesla bot. The Tesla bot. Let's look at it.
Of course it is. It's funny. We were looking at Teslas once upon a time, and I'm kind of happy that we didn't, because I see like all these fail videos of like Teslas not being able to understand, roads, and I'm like, I'm kind of happy just driving.
Well, and also there's like a whole TikTok dedicated to people who Elon Musk is chill. I have a brother that lives in DC. He actually met the Obama. He got a scholarship for journalism and was invited to the White House, ended up staying in DC. Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Nice, Duke. Look, I love Obama, and whether you agree with, all the brown people who killed overseas with his drones or the freedoms they took away, I still loved him as a president. I still loved his charisma. I loved what he did for the status of America in the United States and on the world stage, I should say. I really liked him as a person. Some of his policies, obviously, you don't agree with everything a president does.
But I want to speak to that, because I've only gotten to meet one president once, and it was Bush.
Which one?
The second one.
G-Dub. I would love to meet G-Dub though.
He was the nicest guy.
I bet.
I swear to God, we had the nicest conversation, and it was in the White House. It was really, really awesome, and it was. These guys get such bum raps, and I understand he's not a perfect guy, and I understand Katrina and all the horrible things that happened during his presidency.
Oh, the fake war in fucking Iraq, yeah.
Right. There's all these things, and I understand it from all that point of view. But these guys have the hardest jobs, right? It is. I would never, ever, ever, ever want to be president.
No.
Like, it is one of them. There's a thankless position. Like, you're doing well if no one's talking about you. Like, it's. Like, every little mistake you make is magnified to 10 billion%. Like, yeah. And it's not easy, and they're making hard choices, because if the choice has gotten all the way up to the president, it's not an easy choice to be made, right? Somebody else lower down would take care of it if it was an easy decision. And it's, it all comes down to them. And all these guys are super charismatic and super nice people, and they're probably good people, really, like, in their soul. Like, I don't know about Trump, but the rest of them all seem like good people. And
yeah, I believe that they believe they're good people. I'm sorry, but weapons of mass destruction, that whole thing was sold to us, and it just came out that was all bullshit. So I mean, and we all knew it.
I think he was sold a bill of goods.
Exactly. No, and that's the thing. But do we hold him responsible? I mean, who are we holding responsible here?
You have to hold him responsible. I get it, and that's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah, and that's why it's like that's why it's so funny to see people like, oh, little old Bush painting little pictures, and like he's a little artist, and Michelle Obama's like making them fucking hot cocoa, and they're fucking in front of the fireplace, whatever. Fuck that. Like, fuck him. He's a war criminal. Fuck that guy. I'm sorry. And
I understand, but I mean, it's
but
crazy
no,
that
on
we
a
hold
personal,
these people accountable, for a whole, decisions made by an entire government. I understand.
that
Ultimately, they're signing off on it, but like, it's going through so many people before it ever gets to them.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of these times it's like, what's the best with the information we have at the time?
Yeah.
And then more information comes out later that disproves it. And then it looks like you're the asshole. And
yeah, you're right. It's about
you know,
perspective. It is. If it's one thing that I'm learning more is like, especially as someone who loves the idea of conspiracies and stuff like that, is like, there's so many different angles, so many different perspectives that you got to see things from that it back the fuck up just because it's not all this or all that. There's so much nuance that goes within these decisions that get made and stuff. But still, I mean, come on, we fucking years of war and horror that we rained upon other countries. Predicated on a lie.
Done it, right? Like,
of course. I mean, talking about charismatic Obama did it. Shit. But let's move away from the horrors of that we've bestowed upon others, and let's look to the future horrors that lie in front of us.
Exciting.
Let's,
future apocalypse, not the past ones, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this is the new Tesla bot that we're. It's probably DMCA fucking Elon Musk is gonna come and shut us down any second.
This is how they find us. They're checking.
Here, I'll turn off the sound. A moving judgment. If only we still had Obama. Yeah. If only. I mean, honestly, at least the United States wouldn't look like a fucking douche pile. Look at that thing. If that's not fucking the thing of nightmares, I don't know what is. What is that?
Oh my god, this looks like something right out of an anime that's like...
Yeah.
This feels like the beginning of Ghost in the Shell when they're like creating...
Yeah, the face and stuff. Because there's a scene where the face sort of opens up and you see all the innards, right? And that's like part of the intro, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Elon Musk is going to buy Twitch just to ban you. I would not put it past them. That's what he's doing. Mighty
resources.
Yeah, mighty. Oh well. No, okay. So let's start. Hold on. Boston Dynamics. Have you seen the stuff that Boston Dynamics does?
No.
Boston Dynamics robot. So they got robot dogs, but robot. Every year it gets crazier and crazier what these fucking things are doing, but they have every intention on using these for fucking murdering humans or other robots. Look at this. Look how clunky that fucking thing looks though, but look at what it can do. Imagine, now that's something nightmares are made of, but Tesla just made it look nicer. Look at that. Hey, Jesus Christ, could you imagine that fucking showing up at our shores? Fucking.
Can you just imagine like having like rocket launchers on the back of those
things? They already
do.
They strapped a fucking, hold on, they have a fucking dog that has the robot dog gun. I'm not even joking, I just saw this on TikTok. Yeah, I said it. Look at this shit. I don't know what the fuck that is. Warthog Productions. Look at this. Look at this fucking thing, bro. Look at this fucking thing right here.
That's terrifying.
Ghost Robotics and Sword International have teamed up to create a rifle-toting robot dog.
Yeah, that's not even mounted yet.
Special purpose
there you
unmanned
go.
rifle.
Look at that.
Spur. The system adds a 6.5mm Creedmoor rifle from Sword to one of Ghost Robotics' quadrupedal unmanned ground vehicles, or QUGVs. The Spur made its debut on the show floor at the Association of the U.S. Army's main annual convention in Washington, D.C., which opened yesterday. Though Ghost Robotics is partnered with a number of other companies to explore defense and security applications, among others, for its QUGVs.
Let's get to the good shit, come on.
Forces Squadron at Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida and are being tested by other units within that service. The exact configuration of the 6.5mm gun inside the Spur module, how much ammunition it contains, and how hard it might be to reload are all unclear. Ghost Robotics has said that Spur can be instructed remotely to chamber the first round from an unloaded state, as well as clear the chamber and safe the gun.
Jesus Christ.
In terms of the weapon itself, SARD does offer derivatives of the 5.56x 45mm R15 M16 family,
Duke.
as well as similar, but larger caliber guns, more akin to the Armalite R10 or Knights Armament Company SR25.
Because this is what's next. It's not fucking sending in fucking meat bags. It's fucking sending in these robots to go murder people in the night, fucking to take other people's resources, right? Like this is like, oh, you have a natural gas resources and we don't feel like overthrowing your government with our CIA fucking these false flag wars and shit. We'll just send in our fucking dogs and we'll just take it anyways. It's like we don't have to, if you can't sway the government through the CIA through overthrowing their government, then we'll send in the dogs. Why does it need a gun? No life to defend. I don't know. I don't know why. Primordial sounds. Well, I mean, I know why. It's because these are going to be fucking.
They're for attack. It's not for defense.
Yes.
Right? It's pretty simple. Like it's.
Yes.
I've seen so many video games that have these crawling things that look just like that. I'm like, holy moly!
There's
like,
a Black Mirror fucking
coming.
episode. There's a Black Mirror episode for all the horror that's coming for the human race. I'm telling you right now, you got to watch this fucking series. It's amazingly horrifying, but it's fucking. But yes, there's a whole fucking thing where these little like spider dogs are running around and they're just killing people. It's like the AI took over and now people are hiding in the trash and living like rats, fucking running around avoiding these little fucking robot spiders that come and fucking murder you in the night. It's terrifying. And look at it. It's here it comes. We're designing our own demise as we speak here. It's amazing.
Those rifles come in calibers such as 7.62 51mm, 6.5mm Creedmoor, 300 Norma Magnum, 338 Lapua Magnum, and 338 Norma Magnum.
Yes,
The weapon
nanobots.
used in the spur module looks like it could have a sound
Fucking scary,
suppressor
too.
fitted to the front end, which could make it more difficult for opponents to determine.
I mean, like, I don't know if you've seen those videos where, like, there's little dogs. I've shown the videos on here before, but there's videos, like, in Shanghai of dogs, just robot dogs running around telling everybody that they have to go in the fucking house and the COVID restrictions. They have drones flying around saying, please quell your urge to sing about freedom and fucking go back in your house, bitches. Like, have you not seen... These videos are out there. It's already here. It's already happening. Like, fucking, and of course in China it's going down. But I mean, shit, what's not going down in China? That place is fucking wild as fuck. It's fucking China, baby. Yeah, the nanobots are scary too, man. Like, there's just a whole mess of garbage coming our way down the path, just waiting for us. Let's see this fucking thing shoot things. Come on, where's the good stuff?
Guns, as you can read more about here. Unmanned system already features impressive stabilization.
Come on,
video
let's just
cameras.
see it fucking do stuff.
Even if an operator ultimately has to give the approval to start shooting.
Come on.
This could be especially valuable given the idea that these robot dogs, just like their real counterparts, will be able to get into tight spaces that present significant risks for their human handlers, or just be hard for a person to access all.
Well, isn't that how it starts, right? Like, it starts with, oh, look at the practicality. We could use these things to go disarm bombs or fucking go into tight spaces that we don't want to find humans, or perform surgeries that are so precise, you know, that we can't. And then all of a sudden it's fucking like, hey, fuck you. Like, now we're murdering everybody and taking your resources. What's this link here? What is this?
Yeah, I just put it in chat. This is what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the Peace Walker, which is the Metal Gear Solid, right? Like, how crazy does that?
Oh
like...
my god! Holy shit, that is about right.
Like, I was trying to remember. I was like, I've seen this before in a video game, and I was trying to figure it out, and I'm like, yeah, Metal Gear Solid. They've got these giant robots, and you're trying to like get out of their way as they like destroy.
Holy hell! No, you're right. That is it. Look at that thing. It's the same fucking thing. It's like they're like. Some fucking nerd was like playing Metal Gear Solid. Like, I could do this. Fuck these guys. I could do this. It's like, god damn it. Oh shit. Just
A 6.5 millimeters Creedmoor gun would give it the option of engaging threats at more extended ranges as well.
Of course it would. I want to see it shooting.
Thanks for watching.
There was a video of it like actually shooting like with the gun and stuff.
We'll be singing.
Oh god. So this is like them.
The history of it.
Yeah, this
Holy
is like
moly.
they're testing. Look, they're just kicking these fucking things around, and one day they're gonna be ruling us. It's like kick it, yeah, just kick the fucking thing. Can't. Where these little horses? Oh my god. Where is the thing shooting? There's one where the dog is actually shooting. Robot dog gun shooting. I'm just such a bad Googler, especially when I'm high on mushrooms. Let me see. Is this what we just watched? Welcome to the future.
Years now. Much and mechanical
Just
things
show
with
the
screen
gun
press
shooting
and also
stuff.
reportized ground equipped with camera.
This is YouTube's failing me. They go and find this guy's grandkids and gonna make him pay for this. Yeah, exactly. Look at cybernetics. Oh God, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has already covered this, of course. Cybernetics by Mac. Communication, automatic control systems. Oh God. Okay, that seems horrifying as well. That seems like a whole nother subject to go down. Hold on. Okay, fuck this guy. I want to look at this Tesla thing too, but I wanted to show everybody the Boston Dynamics and see the difference between what's going and what Elon Musk is looking for. Look at this fucking thing. Let's not. We'll turn this down a bit, but look at this thing. Now look at that. It looks like someone's in that fucking thing. That's a person. Just doing the robot. Look at it. Oh shit! It dances. Wait, is that real? That has to be a person.
Yeah. That can't be it.
It's moving too much like a person.
This is like an April Fool's joke. They're just playing on everybody.
They have to. This is not a real robot. Get out of here.
Really?
Hold on. Let's see what this fucker says.
Now, unlike Dojo, obviously that was not real.
Yeah. Okay. Duh.
So Dojo is real. The Tesla bot will be real.
So it's not. It's not.
So it's not real.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
out
We're
yet.
hearing right now with the cars. Tesla is arguably the world's biggest robotics company because our cars are.
Yeah, we know your cars are
that's,
fucking whatever. Let's
At a
just see the
mechanical
good.
level,
So
at a physical level, you can run away from it.
oh, he's making
mechanical
horrible
level, it
fucking
is,
apocalyptic jokes.
At a mechanical level, at a physical level, you can run away from it.
Ha 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 ha.
And most likely overpower it. So hopefully that doesn't ever happen, but you never know.
Well, coming from the guy who believes that AI is going to be the end of us, like this guy is like running.
Yeah, he seems to be like working towards the end of us. He's like, this is all going to destroy us, but Lear, let me help along the way. Like, I just don't,
Yeah, but if anybody could do it, it's this motherfucker. It's definitely this guy could definitely.
So bringing
do it.
about the end of the world and then save us from it, right?
Yeah,
That's
well,
the
yeah.
plan.
Well, maybe that's the whole thing, Robbie. Maybe there's a grand scheme. He wants to take over Twitter, so he has a mouthpiece. He wants to have Tesla bots because goddamn right well that they could just disarm and like when you're driving a Tesla that you're not autonomous like that. If you buy that thing, it's not necessarily yours just because at any moment it could be taken and hacked or it could be shut down from the source. So it's almost like you're leasing you're buying the licensing, right? You're sort of leasing the licensing to sort of drive this fucking thing around.
It just kind of reminds me of Star Wars, right? Where he's like consolidating power, like he's creating the infrastructure, he's creating the army, he's creating all the resources, he's creating the network of communication, right. And then like like Cyberdyne technologies, right? He's going to turn on that switch, and then suddenly, like, he's the world leader.
Cybernetics. So is cybernetics like a company or is it like a thought? Cybernetics versus robotics. We define cybernetics as the study of control and communication in the animal and machine. Cybernetics is concerned with the concepts at the core of understanding complex systems such as learning, cognition, adaptation, emergence, communication, and efficiency. So it's an idea. It's a field of study. I see. Okay. Thank you, Oshi, for bringing that up. Oshi's fucking Oshi. You're in the Beast, right? You're in Beast chat a lot, or is that where I know you from? I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, that's interesting shit, man. This shit is so fascinating to me. But I mean, I don't know. Like there was this period of books that I would just I just kept reading about apocalyptic, and then like the funny thing was I read all these books about the apocalypse, and then and then the pandemic came. And then like I was just like, oh Jesus, and here we are, here I am at Costco fucking fighting for toilet paper, and like it's like because I remember when the pandemic first came on, and like everybody was freaking out about toilet paper, and I was just like, we'll be fine. There was like there was a whole pallet of like Charmin left, right? And it was like, oh, we'll be fine. We'll just circle back and get it. Let's get the other stuff first. And when we came back, the whole fucking pallet was gone. And all that was left were these the Costco brand shitty fucking sandpaper toilet paper. I was like, oh fuck, now we're gonna be wiping our ass in the apocalypse with sandpaper. Which, I mean, if it really was the apocalypse at the time, at the beginning of the pandemic, everyone just thought this is it. We had no idea what was coming.
Well, I thought either this was it or it was going to be over in 2 weeks, right?
So right, like exactly. We just need to have enough toilet paper for 2 weeks, everybody. So get like a 2-year supply. Right. But that's not in my head. I'm just like that it wasn't real. Like when they were saying 2 weeks to curve the fucking whatever. In my head, I was like, this is not going away in 2 weeks. This is not happening. Like they're not going to be able to get a hold of this in 2 weeks. And
they really did a sell job, though. People really believed that. People were like, "Oh, we'll just have to like wait 2 weeks." And then it was gonna be like a month, and then it was gonna be like, "Oh, by the summer it'll burn itself out." And then it's like,
what a horrible messaging our government did. I mean, especially our president at the time was just terrible. Fucking all of it.
It's kind of interesting like that how that all went down. It's like I felt like if he had been pro-mask instead of against the mask, I think he would have won the presidency. I think like that little of a thing and be like, wear freedom masks, it'll save us. Yeah. And then it would have like lowered the number. Every one of his sheep would have followed suit, and we probably would have knocked it out faster. And then he would have been the savior, and we would have been stuck with him for 4 more years. So it's just like, it's interesting that making that one wrong calculated choice, right, I think could have ultimately cost him the presidency.
Right. He could have been like, fucking listen, fucking everybody gets a fucking Trump 2020 fucking mask in the mail tomorrow. Everybody gets a testing kit. If he would have just leaned into the whole idea of like, let's get past this instead of fighting it. I mean, he put so much on the vaccine and stuff, which, good on him, because in all honesty, it was his implementation of the, and his policy that sort of implemented the distribution of the vaccine, and it was a successful thing, which fucking,
even though he tried to like steal kits from my state and like pass it off, and they're like, no, these are like, we got them from Korea, not you. Like, you don't get all of our kits. And so,
well, but that's the thing, man. That was the one thing that the pandemic, showed us, was that all the cracks in our system, how dependent we are on other countries, and we couldn't even we didn't even have cotton. Right? We didn't even have cotton for fucking. We didn't have simple medications. We didn't have masks. We didn't have fucking. It was just so apparent, and nothing has changed. Nothing has really changed. I mean, it took like distilleries like Jack Daniels shut down and started making fucking hand sanitizer and shit. So like nothing really changed though. I mean, I know we're starting to make parts. They're going to start making the diodes or the things that are made in Taiwan. They're going to start opening up facilities in Texas and stuff so we're not so dependent on outside for chips and stuff. But we're still very dependent on outside sources, and like we took none of the things that was very apparent and the things that we should have learned from. We didn't learn from any of it. We're just still plowing forward. We're still like, we're going to buy all of our cheap goods from another country. We're going to fuck it. Like we're still just running headfirst into disaster once again. And it's just, I don't like saying it like this, but like we are sort of as a society getting what we deserve. We are sort of.
Well, there's always this battle of this like world economy. Like, do you go where the prices are cheaper, or do you do it made in America? And what is, is it better for the bottom line? Is it better for these industries? Is it better for the people? I mean, there's all these things you always have to try to battle with and trying to, work your way through those questions, because none of those are really easy answers, right? I mean, obviously I'd prefer, American to have a job and do all that, but then how much more am I willing to pay for that good to have that happen, right? And then how much is everybody willing to pay for it across the board?
Right.
And are they,
I want my iPhones cheap, goddammit. I want it cheap and I want it now.
Yeah, it's like, I want an American-made iPhone. Would you pay $2,000 for it? Versus $1,000. I don't know. Like, and
I mean, maybe, but most people wouldn't. I don't think most people wouldn't. I mean, like, you could tell them all the things in the world. Like, Walmart's fucking destroying these little towns and destroying these fucking local economies. It don't fucking matter. It's like you're just gonna go where it's cheap. I need fucking.
Amazon is like the death of all small businesses and stuff like that. But like, how many of us still buy everything on Amazon because it could be there the next day and you don't have to go out? Like,
I got shit coming tomorrow, folks. Tomorrow, okay?
Right.
American fucking company, Amazon. I'm supporting an American company, okay? God damn it, America first.
America first. So it's not an easy decision. I mean, we're all on a Amazon-owned platform right now. It's just like, and so it's tough. They're not easy decisions to be made, and it's hard to make them in a vacuum, because it's not like you'd have to get so many people to agree to stop doing something. It's like, once it's going in a direction, it's hard to make it stop, right? So like, there's a lot to be said for that, right? So,
well, I mean, and it's the same way with like, what we're doing and what we're putting into our oceans and what we're fucking, pollution and stuff. Is like, are we really going to take the steps into that's going to be required for us to start?
I mean, there's parts of like the icebergs that are melting and going to crack into the ocean and probably raise sea levels and stuff that we don't even really talk about. And a lot of this stuff is not reversible, and a lot of people live right here, near. I'm on the East Coast. If everything rose by a foot, it would cause a lot of problems. And I just think we only have a couple of years to figure this stuff out. It's not like these are hundreds of years away, and the next generation can deal with it. Will there be a world for the next generation? And it's like, we have to start thinking about that. I don't think it was thought enough about in the previous generation, or not enough. I'm not about, government needs to put restrictions on things, but clearly as a society, we're not doing enough on our own, and we're allowing for this to happen. So it's like, it's again, this situation where it's like, do we think the government should put restriction on it? Do we believe in the government's ability to manage that? Do we think, how do we as a society move forward and protect our oceans or our skies? Or, there's still waste of satellites in our atmosphere. There's, how much
Space
pollutants
junk.
we're putting into the world, with, the carbon footprint, and, none of these things. And even if we were to come to a conclusion as the United States, let's say here, that where we're living in, how do you get a China to agree to it, who's polluting
Exactly.
even more than us, and they don't care as
They
much,
don't
or
give
don't
a
seem to,
fuck. No, they don't give
Yeah.
a fuck so much that they're just like, well, listen, we'll enslave an entire population of people. That's how much we don't give a fuck over in China. Like they
Right.
give
So it's
zero
like,
fucks.
how do we move the needle at a world level, which is what needs to happen in the next 20 years to save this for future generations. And it's like, these are real conversations that are scary. People don't want to have them.
No, they don't.
But
Please go ahead.
no, I just don't really think that we're ready to have those conversations yet. And it's going to be interesting to see, are people going to be able to have it before it's too late?
No, we're not. No, the people are gonna have to see the disaster. They're gonna have to see it coming up their fucking street. They're gonna have to see water rising on their fucking doorstep before it's like, oh hey, we need to do something about this
And by
shit.
then it'll be too late.
But isn't it already too late? I'm pretty sure it's
It's
already too late.
probably is.
I've
But,
talked to a fucking biologist of some sort. I remember I was on the road a few years ago, and she was like, she was getting her doctorate in whatever the fuck this is, biology. I don't know. I'm such a dipshit. But like on the road playing music, you meet all kinds of different people, and she was somebody who was about to get her doctorate, and she was just like, yeah, it's too late already. It's fucking like no matter what we do already.
it's just hard to raise children in that world, right? Like,
Yeah.
you and I have to, be fathers and teach our kids, the correct way to live life, and kind of go through the motions and assume that there is a world for them in 30, 40 years,
Yeah.
like, because it's too scary to think about the opposite, and you can't just throw up your hands and be like, well, I'm not going to teach the kids how to survive because we know that it's going to be over,
Right.
like, so we have to continue on and go through the motions. But that also, what signals does that send to the next generation, like, so I think it's important. It's one of the things where I've always taken video of scuba diving and documented my different travels that I've done, because you don't know, if these places will exist 10, 15 years from now, or what it will look like. And it's cool to go back to some of these same dive spots and see how the environments have changed over time, and see how coral bleaching has had an impact on those reefs. And it's something, I've been very fortunate to be able to do. And I realize that many people are A, scared of scuba diving, or B, don't have the resources to do it. And I think it's important that people understand that we only have one planet, and it's important that we try, if you just see some trash on the ocean shore, pick it up. Don't let it go back into the water. If the little things that we do, if we all agreed to help a little bit and moving, I think that's the only way that this happens. I think it's too hard for any one person to change, but if everybody agrees to try to change a little bit, that's when it's possible.
Yeah, for sure. And Morby wants you to know that your last name means tall in German.
It does. Ironically, I'm not very tall, but it is true. My family has Hungarian roots, so it's from a German background. So yeah, it makes sense.
Grossen. I don't know.
Right.
So we need
it's
a
actually
second
gross
plan.
with a Z, Grosz back then.
Grossen. Gross. Gross.
Right.
I don't know.
Exactly.
So we need a second planet. Well, that's what Elon Musk is going to do with his Tesla bots. He's going to go to Mars. He's going to colonize it, and then all the billionaires will go there, and they'll have their getaway. Oh, look at that! This is
We might have to start mining asteroids and other stuff off of other planets with how fast we're going through our resources. I mean, that's legitimately might be the only way to save this planet, is to get resources from other places.
They got a special letter just for your name. There you go. You're special in Germany. I want you to know. I want you to know. We got a question. If you could live 400 years, what would you do it?
So I assume that you're in good health for 400 years. Like, you're not like sick and in pain for 400 years. Because I mean, I wouldn't want to. I have metal rods in my back. I'm in pain. I can only imagine it's probably going to deteriorate as I get older, right? And So if I was in pain for metal rods for 200 to 300 years, that would sound
He's like,
horrible.
fuck that.
Fuck that. But if assuming that I'm in good health and that's the and everything's going great and my faculties mentally are there and I can physically do stuff and be able to pick up my great grandchildren and things like that, like I'm in. But like assuming at the current rate of decay of our bodies, I don't know if I'd want to be a vegetable or be in pain or not being able to like enjoy a life 300 to 400 years down the road.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably do it. But I mean, again, it goes back to like outliving the ones you loved, right? Like Carley, hello, welcome in. And I saw that you followed earlier. Thank you so much for following. It was very, very generous of you. I appreciate you very much. Oh, look, Primordial Sounds has a emote. That is that your emote, Robbie?
Well, it's the emote for the event that they were doing, the raid train. So actually, Primordial Sounds was the last person of the raid train, and Carley Sings was the first person of the raid train. So we got both the beginning and the end of. So over the last 2 days, they've been raising money throughout Twitch. A bunch of music streamers. They went on Friday from about 4 in the afternoon, I want to say, and all the way until 4 in the morning, and they picked it up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then they went last night until I want to say it was just after 10 when Andy Primordial Sounds finished up, and so it was really cool to be able to be a part of that, to try to bring awareness to it. And we're definitely linking the charity in the chat here down below. I know that I saw it come by a minute ago. I'll do it again. So Ocean's Harmony is just trying to work on that sort of symbiosis between humans and the ocean, and try not to, oceans are a big part of this planet, and we have to take care of both the fisheries in it, the plankton, the overfishing of sharks, the amount of plastic that's in there. And so they believe in a lot of those kind of things. It's based in Australia, but it's got a global outreach. And it was cool to watch all these musicians from all over Twitch be a part of it. And then I actually did a sports podcast last night giving more information about this. And you can find it on my YouTube channel or on my Twitch VODs. We talked about it all night, and then we raided into Andy Primordial Sounds and at the end to be a part of the ending there. And we were able to raise over $2,000, but we're leaving it open. And so over the next month, even, people can still continue to donate. And if people do donate from this podcast, maybe in the notes, put like We Speak English Good podcast in the notes, and people know that they came from here. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And, give whatever you can. It's not. I'll post if you actually go to my website, sportsothp.com, I have all the links for all the donation stuff, but I will paste it in chat right now. This is the donation link right there. And you can give whatever you can and just put in the comments, We Speak English Good. And, $5, $10, $20, anything you can do is helpful. And so people can just click on there and donate right to that cause. I made a bit.ly to make it a little easier for people to find. And so it was really cool to be able to talk about it. Oceans have been a big part of my life. I started off thinking I was going to be a marine biologist, and I thought that
what happened to you, Robbie?
And I went to scuba camp as a kid, and I literally learned to dive and learned to it was in the Florida Keys, same camp my dad went to 30 years before me, and I was one of the first campers at. And they're all about research, and I was doing transect lines and studying coral bleaching and my advanced diver certifications through them. We did even do shark biology, where we would actually take sharks, we'd fish for them, we'd bring them onto the boat, wrestle them down, put tags in them, release them back into the ocean, and be able to track shark populations. Now they have much more you have to actually scan them. Back in the day, now they actually have real-time tracking on them. But this was 30 years, not 30 years, but 20 something years ago.
This is what you were doing in shark camp?
Yeah. It was scuba camp, but I at
Oh,
16,
sorry, Shark Camp. Sorry, sorry.
but
I'm
at-
donating right now while you talk, so I'm sorry.
I appreciate
I'm
I
donating.
appreciate that.
I'm donating some to the cause here because I fucking love the ocean. I lived 3 blocks from the Pacific Ocean for many years in San Diego, California, and you know, I always appreciated a clean ocean. My son, you know, a wonderful thing for my son to be a part of for his first part of his life. So
My son's on the beach right now,
Oh,
actually
that's
in
so
Corpus
cute.
Christi, and
Oh,
and
yes.
so like it's so important. I mean, my in-laws live at the beach. You know, they go every weekend,
That's
and you know,
wonderful.
just you know, it's a big part. You know, the Gulf Coast, you know, the East Coast, the West Coast. You know, the oceans. You're all interconnected. You know, this, you know, the plastic issue and a lot of these issues with marine life. You know, it's not just a local issue, and even people who live landlocked in the middle of this country or another country, you know, how we treat our water systems, you know, underground water, you know, recycling and not polluting yourselves, you know, being able to, when you are able to travel, you know, help, you know, pick up trash or whatever you can do. It's all interconnected. It's not just the people who live at the beach's problem. You know,
Yeah.
it's all of our problem, and
Absolutely.
it's something that we can, you know, come together and really solve. And I'm excited this summer to shoot more underwater. I mean, that's a real dream of mine. I hope actually to work with this company in the future, Oceans Harmony. They're out of Australia, and a dream of mine is to actually videotape, you know, all the Australian oceans, you know, the area around Australia. And so maybe someday I'll get hired by them to shoot some of that, and you know, give examples of what it looks like underwater there. And it's been really cool. Maybe in a few minutes we can show a couple of my underwater videos
In
that
a
I
few
have.
minutes, let's fucking go right now, baby. Let's
Right now?
go. Let's go.
All right, I'll put my YouTube link in the chat. But
And here's the donation link again, guys, just so you know what's going on. And yeah.
So if you click on that link, the on my YouTube channel, there's a scuba playlist. If you scroll down just a little bit, and so it's just under. If you scroll down on that front page,
Cayman Islands.
there should be just like one that's just scuba. Actually, just go back to the front one. It's actually
Scuba
Oh, they're
videos.
right there. Scuba videos. It's right there. You just passed it. It was up.
This is it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
So
shit.
this one's
Is
this
that
is from Hattie.
Oh, that's Hattie's music?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've gotten his permission to use it on.
Yeah,
on
and now
here.
I have his permission. He's been on the show. He gave me
that's true,
permission.
that's
He's
true.
been on the show. It's fine. Okay, it's fine.
And I did like a alternate remix of it. I made it sound like you're underwater while you're listening to it. So I did some post production work.
Hold on.
So it's got this sort of wonky.
Wavy stuff. I didn't know that you were in production and stuff like that. That's dope.
Yeah, I studied video editing and animation in college, but as part of that, I learned some sound design and for music editing, because that's what I really love to do, is find the intersection between video and music.
Mhm.
And I in fact have a video that's going to be premiering tonight at 8:00.
fuck
That'll
is
have
that
some
thing?
Carley. Yeah. So this is kind of like.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you about to say though?
I was just going to say I love the intersection of music and film, and so at 8:00 I'm actually premiering a video of my Easter trip done to Carley Sings song, so on my YouTube channel. But this one is kind of a highlight video because for 2 years I couldn't dive because of the pandemic, and I had all this great footage from all these other videos that you're seeing. So this is kind of perfect. You get a sense of it. Some of these things are actually from the ocean floor that come up at nighttime to feed.
Whoa.
And some of them are very tiny, and so these are manta rays. So this is all was done in Hawaii. Both night dives I did in Hawaii, and it's really kind of cool. This one I've done in the Cayman Islands. It's turtle swimming and some amazing, through amazing school of fish. But these manta rays, you can see right here, manta rays are an important part to me. I made this is actually some of my own merch for my podcast. There's a guy named Mantha, so I made a Mantha Ray shirt. So it's sort of the intersection of my love of the sea and my love of Washington Capitals hockey. But these creatures are incredible. They're like see-through. They could be like millions of years old. Like this is like the most terrifying dive of my life because it's a mile deep. You can't see the bottom. You're tethered to your boat and the water's just pitch black. All you can see is where your flashlight is pointing. And the other ones where you're seeing the manta ray footage, that one, it's really lit up. It's like the opposite. They do what's called the campfire. They put flashlights on the bottom of the ocean that will attract photoplankton. Whoa. And then the manta rays actually eat the photoplankton. So they actually know that these divers will be there, and they use that as a food source. This is one of my all-time favorite shots. I just love the sun shooting down with the turtle. Yeah, so there's just so much incredible stuff to see. And the reason you see it coming in and out is it's timed to the music.
Yeah.
For people who are, these are incredible, 15-foot wingspan creatures. I mean, it really looks like you're in a different world down there.
Well, it is, right? I mean, like we talk about space exploration, but we still don't know what's going on underneath the fucking ocean. We're just sort of, we're still little Robbie shot. We're still trying to figure out what's going on underneath us, and oh man, like I had somebody on the show the other day. Yeah, humans are polluting the ocean, which is garbage. And I had someone on the other day where they're like, during when everyone was talking about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on the Oscars, a huge Arctic shelf fell into the ocean that same time. Morby even made a joke. It was like, oh, he slapped him that hard. But yes, it's wild how much we don't pay attention to what's going on, even, in our oceans. We're so concerned about who, I'm another one, I'm over here giving a shit about who the baby slapped. Meanwhile, the earth is scorching around us.
Right. But it's like, it's easier
Duke,
to talk about.
I love you, baby. You have a good rest of your day. Have a good night wherever you are. I hope you're doing well. And
thank you so much, Luke Duke. I appreciate you coming by.
Duke.
Das Morby asked an interesting question. Is it dangerous? And that's a great question.
Yeah.
So scuba diving isn't for everybody, right? I'll be honest. Like this is a great one. This is the one I slowed down Moana music because it was Hawaii, and you can kind of get that super cool vibe. You start off with the daytime dive, and then you watch the sunset, and then you go, and then you see the manta rays, and some of the same footage that you just saw in that last one. But this is like that dive instead of like a compilation one. But it's so beautiful, and it is. I wouldn't do night dives as the first thing, although Liz, my wife, did this night dive after only doing 20 dives, which is less than I would recommend, but it's pretty safe. There's a lot of flashlights. She did get her advanced certification very quickly into meeting me because she wanted to do some of these advanced dives with me. The basic certification gets you down to 60 to 80 feet. The advanced certification can let you do night dives and gets you a little deeper, things like that. I've gone down 120 feet, seen sharks at 120 feet. Hammerhead sharks, families of them and stuff, which is really cool. The deeper you go, the less time you can spend underwater. So just a quick science lesson, every 33 feet, the pressure in your tank is halved. So you have half as much air in your tank at 33 feet as you would on the surface. And then it continues to go down 1 atmosphere of pressure for every 33 feet. So that means you could maybe spend an hour at the surface or in the first 33 feet, but only 15 to 20 minutes, down at 100 feet, or maybe even less, depending on how fast you go through that air. So you got to be able to calm your breath and breathe slowly, especially if the pressure is that much deeper. And sometimes pressure can get to people. Other things you have to worry about is nitrogen narcosis, which is the buildup of nitrogen in your bloodstream. So the deeper you go, the more nitrogen that is going into your bloodstream. And as you rise to the surface, the nitrogen can leave your bloodstream. But the longer you're down there, the more nitrogen that gets saturated into your body. Because what you're breathing is air, and air being compressed. So part of air is nitrogen. It's not just oxygen
Right.
in our air. There's nitrogen, there's, all sorts of different gases in that. And so we do what's called a standard mix in a normal dive, and underwater it's basically what you're breathing up here compressed down into a tank. Now you can breathe other types of air underwater. So there's things called nitrox that has less percentage of nitrogen in it, more oxygen, and there's different types of nitrox that has different levels of different amounts of gases. And I'm nitrox certified. And nitrox is really cool because you don't have the nitrogen, and so you have the adrenaline that you get from the diving, but not the nitrox that makes you very tired after a dive. The nitrogen that makes you tired. So nitrogen's like laughing gas. I don't know if people have ever been
like
having
nitrous?
laughing gas. What?
Like nitrous?
Nitrous, exactly. So it's what puts you under or makes you
I've
feel
only had
okay
nitrous at a Fish concert, so
Okay, but it's similar, and a lot of people do it sometimes when they've got to have like dental surgery,
Right.
and so it makes you loopy. So that's why
Mhm.
you can't really dive when you're drunk or high, because you're already going to have that loopy sensation. You definitely want to have your faculties about yourself, because you don't want to have nitrogen narcosis, which is when you basically are tripping down at depth, and you just are like in a dream state, and you're like, I don't need this anymore. I don't need these, and like take off your mask, take out your regulator, and that could be dangerous.
That's like a thing that that happens, right? People get down there
people
and
go and get loopy, right?
Wow.
So like that's why you have to. I have a dive computer that's constantly monitoring how long I've been at depth, because you used to have tables and you have to use math to try to figure out how long you can stay down. But with the dive computer, it's actually telling you you've been at this depth for this amount of time, this amount. This is how high you have to go back up, so that way you could be okay. Also, you have to like let nitrogen leave your system if you've been underwater too long at 15 feet for
is
a
that
couple
the
of minutes.
bends? Is that
So the bends is actually when you have when you're going up to the surface too quickly. So you have to go up at the speed of rate of your bubbles, because if you go up too quickly and you don't let the air get out of your system, you can actually get bubbles in your system. You can so that's the big thing, is don't go up too quickly. Don't spend too long down there, and monitor your air. If you can keep those things under control, it's pretty safe. And they teach you how to do all of that stuff through the different courses that you take. But I can't say that it's 100% safe, that there's nothing that could go wrong, right? Because you're dealing with foreign animals. There are things that out there that can sting you, that can bite you. There's fire coral. There's stuff you have to be aware of, just like if you were to go into a jungle or something, right? It's like it's not a habitat in which we are normally involved in. But once I've dove hundreds of times in my life, so like once you've gotten comfortable enough in the water and to doing this sort of stuff, I think it is pretty safe. The other issue that people have is sometimes there's claustrophobia. So sometimes people wearing a mask and at depth, they feel very claustrophobic. So if you are a claustrophobic person, that could be trouble. The other issue is a pressure in your system. So some people, get headaches at pressure, or can't clear their sinuses if they have a cold, for example. So those are some of the things that people struggle with diving. And so I realize that, and that's why I shoot a lot of this stuff. And so people can get a sense of these places, even if they aren't able to travel to Hawaii, for example.
Well, in anybody listening on the audio side of this, I highly suggest you go and watch the video, the video podcast of this, because we're watching all the amazing fucking things that Robbie is filming. I have a couple questions. You said you had and primordial sounds. How fucking terrifying! He wrote in there that he saw somebody explode due to rapid decompression, or something like that. Now, is that something I don't know if it's common, but like, is that
so I have a story about this, actually.
Let's go. Explosion stories. Let's go.
It's not an explosion story, but a story of somebody going to the surface too quickly and getting sick and almost dying.
Yeah.
And right next to me too. And it was early. I would say it's within my first 10 dives I ever did. And I was in the British Virgin Islands with my parents for Christmas. And we were down at sea, and this guy just looked spooked. He's right next to me and just fucking terrified. I don't even know what he was terrified of. And he just decided, I'm going to the surface. This is, I've had enough.
Yeah.
Older guy, heavy set, don't know if he was having heart issues, don't know what was the deal. But anyway, He shoots to the surface. I try to grab his leg to be like, don't do that. So I've just taken the classes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know this is not the right move. Like, if you got to go to the surface, go slowly, because the air is going to expand naturally as you go up. So you actually, that one breath that you have will last you for the entire time that it takes to go up. And you have to constantly be letting air out. You just like hum, just let bubbles out, and it'll expand, because the pressure will expand as you go up. So you don't actually need to go that fast. It's not like you're going to run out of air. And like, this is the big danger, is going up to surface. But as I held him down, he was like shaking me off, and he was trying to take me with him. And I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah,
like,
later, bro.
like, this is a bad decision for you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it a bad decision for me. Like, and we did. We all surfaced. After that, he was blue on the when we got to the surface. We rushed him to the hospital. I believe he survives. And then immediately the dive master, who was the owner of the dive operation, who happened to be with us on the boat that day, he was the captain. And usually he's not, he's usually in the back office, but he was like, look, we got to go back out. We got to go dive again. All of us right now, for the kids.
Oh my
because he said,
God.
if that's the last thing you ever see as a diver, you're never going to want to go underwater again. Like, you got to get back on that horse. And so we went and we had a normal dive, not like a long dive, but like a 30-minute one, just to get back under and to know nothing that we did. There was no issues. Like, that was a freak accident. Like, yeah, but crazy fucking traumatic thing to see. Like, holy shit. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is just, and then, like, being in that moment, were you
and I was only 14 at the time, right?
Oh,
so we're talking about, this is like 23 years ago, so like, God. Yeah.
Then, so I mean, in that moment, were you? I mean, you obviously stayed calm, but like, what was your? Did you have were you like feeling panic? Were you feeling like?
I was more just confused. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, why is this guy shooting the surface after they tell you in everything that I've read and studied that that's exactly what you don't do? Like, yeah, I mean, it's hard to remember 23 years ago distinctly. I just remember the certain moments, like the flashes of the imagery, the blue face, the shooting up, the getting back in the water and stuff like that. But like, I'm sure it shook us up, right? I mean, because like, that's some crazy shit. But like, again, I've dove hundreds of times since then and never seen anything like that. So I mean, and that guy who's owned this dive operation for, at that time, 20 years, probably did almost 30, 40 years before he passed, he had never seen that before. Right. Wow. And so like, it's not like it's something that's common by any means.
Did you ever find out why he was like tripping, or you're like, nope?
No, I think we just found out that he was okay. I don't think we ever got like confirmation of that.
It's like, why'd you do that? Yeah.
I've only had one other scary underwater experience. That was when I was snorkeling at a marine biology camp that I was talking about. This one kid saw a bull shark in the Florida Keys. And bull sharks, I don't know if people know, are like one of the most dangerous sharks. Like, I love sharks. Sharks are one of my favorite animals. Sharks and rays are my two favorite animals. But like, you got to know what shark you're dealing with. There's tons of lemons and nurses in that water. They're fine. They're not anything you got to worry about unless you're like bleeding and like floundering around and look like a prey or something, right? Sharks, I don't know if people know this, have the ability, they have extra senses that we don't have as humans. They have the actual ability, a sixth sense, not the sense of ghosts, but the ability to detect magnetic pulses in the water. And they can actually read your heart rate and feel it in vibrations in the water. And so that's how they go after the thing that's in distress or panicked and things like that, the seal that's, floundering around or whatever. And so that's the key of being in the ocean, is just calm yourself. Now, I know that's easy to say. I've been in the water a lot, but like the number one thing is don't freak out, don't flounder around, don't shine lights in its eyes. Don't like, the heart rate thing is going to throw it off, or like cut yourself, or if you can keep pretty calm, you're pretty safe. But you still, like, certain sharks just will take a nip at you just to see what you are. And there's only a couple of sharks that do that. Tiger sharks do that. Great whites do that. And bull sharks, right? So those are the three most dangerous sharks, because they'll nip first and then, get questions later, right? And so bull sharks are one of those. And I saw it. I immediately recognized it because I love sharks. I had been studying sharks. And I was like, get the fuck away from that. And he's like trying to bat at it with his foot. And I'm like, with his fins. And I'm like, oh God, you're going to have your foot taken off. Like, don't do that. Like, just like calmly move backwards, like looking at it, but calmly like try to move away from it. Like, don't like kick at it. Like,
Wow.
And I actually ended up grabbing him and swimming him away from the shark. And probably saved his life, like looking back on it, because that's like fucking stupid thing to do.
Yeah, you don't kick at the sharks. If we're gonna learn anything today from this podcast, everyone, don't kick the sharks. Don't kick them. It's just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. They don't need to be kicked. They're just fine on their own. All right, then. That's wild though. That's wild. Look at those dolphins, man. That's so dope. Like the idea of sharks.
Dolphins love to ride on boats, by the way. What they're doing right there is it's actually taking the energy that the boat is doing and it's riding the wave like a surfboard. And it's getting a free trip because it knows that,
more freeloading dolphins. That's what this world needs. Freeloading ass dolphins. Amber, what's up? Better late than never. Good to see you, Amber. Thank you for coming in. Good to see you. Duly noted, Carly. Yes, Carly. Thank you. Yeah, Carly's taking notes.
Gently redirecting shark, fine, and it depends also on the shark, right? I wouldn't bop a nose on a bull shark, but maybe on a nurse shark or a lemon, you could, probably pet it. I really wouldn't put any limbs near a shark regardless, though. It's just like leave the animals of the sea alone.
If you are in a situation where you are sort of being circled or so, what is the best way besides staying calm? What is the best way?
I would say staying calm and trying to make yourself look large, right? And calm and make a lot. I mean, you're in a scuba, assuming you're underwater. It makes a lot of noise when you're breathing. Just breathe slowly and loudly, and it's not gonna. It thinks you're as big of a threat to it as the other way around. So don't provoke it, but don't engage with it. It's probably the safest situation.
So what if it's like nipping? What do you?
If it's nipping, I don't know. I've
stab it with your knife, or you punch it. Like, what do you do?
Yeah,
do you punch it in the face?
Punching a shark in the nose will stun it, but it's a risk that you're gonna take, right? And so I hope. I've never been in that situation, fortunately, and I've swum with a lot of sharks, a lot of different types of sharks, and they've never just took nips for fun. Usually, as you can see, actually, in one of these shots, a baby shark was coming and looked at me for a second, and then it got scared of me and ran away. That's the most often thing is I have to be super slow to eve and quiet with my swimming. We call it quiet diving, not moving your hands a lot, just relying on your feet, keeping your breathing, because it's all about buoyancy, right? So as you breathe in, you'll rise up, and as you breathe out, you'll sink if you have what's called perfect neutral buoyance. So you put weights on and a BCD. So the BCD inflates with air and the weights, and you try to counterbalance it. So that way it's neutral buoyancy. And what's great about that is you feel like you're flying. It's the closest you'll ever get to feeling like you're flying, because you can do backflips, you can do all these crazy stuff, and it's like you're in space. It's really cool. And so I think, honestly, I have to be so quiet to even get a shark to do it. Yeah, at the very beginning of that video was a baby shark. If you want to rewind it to the front.
Oh,
I think it's to the next one, but yeah, it'll show you at the beginning of this one. It was kind of a cute. I did a funny Jaws theme of a baby shark. So you can see it come at me, and then it's like, oh God, you're a big thing. I don't want anything to deal with you. So you can see it start to come out here. So that's like a baby black tip shark. I've studied nurse sharks underwater and stuff like that. But again, it went away for a second, and then I was following it, and then it takes one look at me, and then it will come back around. You'll see it in a second because it saw the other diver on the other side. And it'll come right at you, and it looks big, but it's really tiny. And then
I'm out of here.
Right? See, it's scared of us, right? More than than we are of them. Yeah. So
it's like, and then here comes those freeloading ass dolphins.
Yeah, isn't that cool? The spinner dolphins jump high. It's pretty cool.
Those welfare dolphins.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really cool to see all these different ecosystems and that exist underwater, and it's this one's cool. It's turtles and tunnels. You can really see there's awesome cave systems under it, and you can swim through, and it's just really there's some really awesome animals underwater. I love turtles. They're really interesting, It's cool.
Morby likes turtles too. Yeah, who's David?
Oh, that's my dad. So
Oh,
my
there he
dad
is. Deep State himself.
right. He does he's a great underwater photographer. And actually the GoPro that I'm using was once his, but he's kind of let me do that. He loves taking pictures underwater. He used to do it with like film and stuff. And so what I did was I kind of did a behind the scenes shooting of what he's shooting and showed some of his really cool pictures that he took as well and like spliced them together. And so these are sort of some of the caves and stuff that you can see. And so as you go deeper into the sea, you actually lose different colors. So that's why everything looks really blue down there. So it's, people remember their light spectrum. It's Roy G. Biv. So as you go down, you lose every color. So at the surface, you see the reds. But as you get down, you don't see them. But if you add artificial light back in, so with a flashlight, for example, so we're at 100 feet underwater, just to give you a sense of where we are at that. There's a pretty deep cave. Where the flashlight is pointing, you'll see it's red. I actually have a red filter also on the lens to add back in a little bit more red because it's usually even bluer than what you're seeing right now. But this is a more true color to what you see.
Oh, scuba is an acronym. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Oh, yeah, Amber put it in there, yeah.
Thank you, Amber. Appreciate that. That's so wild, man. I'll tell you this, man. I am scared to death. I am scared to death of that goddamn ocean. I do not like it. I had a friend once who got stung by a stingray in the ocean. He came out and I'm hit. Somebody pee on my toe. And I was like, I ain't going to pee on your toe, but I tell you what. That son of a bitch left a mark. I'll tell you that. I don't like it. So I used to live in San Diego, California, and in Ocean Beach, where I lived, there was every year the stingrays would come and I think it was mating. Is that right, Reina? They would mate or something. They like came and dug themselves under there and were banging or something. I don't know. But they tell you because during mating season or whatever they're doing there, you have to drag your feet through the sand if you're going to go in the ocean. And so my buddy didn't know that. He stepped on one and it fucking stung him right in his goddamn toe. And it was hilarious. And we made fun of him for days. And it was great fodder. It's great fodder. We, young boys and their beer. And oh, wow. So what kind of camera is that? I see your lens too. That's dope.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. You can see both my GoPro and what he was shooting with. And so this is cool. That's Liz and her dad. We got Liz into diving. We certified Tommy. So some of the videos I have are of their certifications. It's kind of fun to go back and, watch how they were doing. And I was actually going through and practicing the advanced certifications again, even though I'd been an advanced diver for 20 years at that point, but just to like go through the motions and, document some of that. And so you can see here, my dad taking a picture and then that's what it looks like, his pictures. And so,
wow, those are beautiful.
Yeah, they're really cool. And, you can take some amazing shots with that. And it's I don't remember which underwater camera he has. He has a digital one. I know he used to have a Nikonis, which was like a film camera underwater, which but either way, you really can't see the screen underwater. You're just taking a lot of pictures and hoping for the best, right? And
oh my God.
So this is kind of cool. You can see like the bubbles going to the surface and it's a really incredible experience. Again, you feel like you're flying and the adrenaline kicks in, and especially if you're on nitrox where you don't have that nitrogen build up, like you could just keep diving for hours and it's pretty awesome.
You're just high on fucking nitrox. Sea urchin. Okay, so your mom almost died from stepping on a sea urchin?
Yeah, sea urchin.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I've seen plenty of those. It's
what are they poisonous or what?
Yeah, well, they're just I don't know if they actually have poison in them, but what it is actually they do have some poison. There's two different types of sea urchins. I think one does have poison in the thing. They're basically like a stepping on a pincushion. It's like a porcupine is actually a pretty good, or hedgehog is kind of like what it looks like. It's just got spikes coming out in all different directions from it, and you don't want to step on that. It's why it's always good to keep a couple feet off the surface and keep some distance from everything. I know some of that cave diving that we were seeing would make people seem very claustrophobic.
Yeah, Carley was saying that, and I'm the same way. I would be like really freaked out about that shit. But
again, those are all like advanced dive things. I wouldn't suggest anyone start with any of that. you've run into a few jellyfish bites. And it's interesting, like things like stingrays. Like there's a place called Stingray City. Actually, well, once you're done looking at this, you should check a look. I did a really cool little video on Stingray City that was part of that playlist, I believe. And you can see how friendly stingrays actually are. And
wait, is it the thing that killed fucking the Australian guy?
It is. And
well, and Reina just said she saw a stingray rip someone's face off because they pulled it out of the ocean fishing off the pier in OB.
Oh shit!
They're not very friendly, bro. If they're killing fucking the Australian guy, what lies are you trying to spread? What misinformation are you trying to spread on my podcast here, buddy?
Right. Well, so like the stingrays in Stingray cities are so used to humans feeding them. So like it's different, obviously, than let's say like a stingray that you might see in the wild. But most of the stingrays in the wild just, run away really quickly and don't even, let's see, did I put it in this one? Here. I'm trying to find the one of the stingray. Here,
I just feel like you're misinforming all of us right now. There's no Stingray City. Stingrays are the devil. Don't fucking vote for stingrays in 2024. All right?
Yeah. Here's us as a family holding stingrays and stuff like that. I just put it in chat.
Awkward adventure.
So
why was it awkward?
No, that's the song. I was giving credit to it was a copyright free music.
I see. Oh yeah, we're not listening to that.
Well,
stingrays are canceled. Music. Exactly. The stingrays. You're done. You're done, stingrays. Get out of here now. So these guys are like partying with them. Like these guys look like fucking. They're gonna make out with them. Like this is wild. So people just come around and fuck. Look at this guy. He looks like he's choking one out. Oh no, that's his goggles.
He was actually our guide. He was picking them up and letting us like hold them, and they're like the singers are totally fine with it.
They're like, you feed me, I'm good.
This was the place that originally made me fall in love with wanting to be a scuba diver. When I was 10 years old, I went to Stingray City. There's another part of it where there's a diving section where you can dive with stingrays. And I was snorkeling above it. And I was watching my parents like having the time of their life diving with stingrays down below. And I was like, I got to get down there. And but this is cool because it's a shallow one where boats come up to it and they're teaching us about it. So what's cool is the audio and the video. They're actually like talking about the stingrays.
Oh, you can hear them?
Oh, yeah. And their mating habits and stuff like that and stuff. So
no, we can't. Well, it's just some.
No, it's all copyright free music. I grab it. Yeah. It's like super like campy music, but it's cool. Like to touch them, it's an interesting experience for sure.
What do they feel like?
They kind of feel like rubbery, like on one side, and it kind of feels. How do I describe it? It's almost like sandpaper on the other side. Depends on which direction you rub it. So their mouths are at the very bottom, and you can feed. One of those videos, I think they are actually putting food into their mouth, and so they're really cool. Yeah, so they're feeding them there.
Oh my God! So how much you got paid to like go molest the fucking stingrays?
Well, we paid for like a private boat ride for the day, and like we got to go and do that as a family. It was cool because that year Zach was born earlier that year, and so we went on a trip where it was my parents and my wife's parents and me and my wife and our kid, and so we were all under one house and did it all together. So it was really fun. So I have both my in-laws and my parents are in these shots.
That's really rocking.
So yeah.
So he's talking cool. About it.
Yep.
That's how they start getting the water back and forth throughout the gills and the mouth, which is irene. The stinger doesn't have any teeth. What they have is called grinder root. So basically, everything is something you just touch and shoot it back onto this little girl.
So what did he say? I couldn't really hear it. He said he has no teeth.
no teeth in it. Like they suck the food in and stuff like that. And later on there, I don't know what point it is, he talks about the mating habits, how they hold stingrays down and impregnate them, which I know that you would. I wish I knew the time code for that, because I know you'd love that part.
Yeah, I mean, let's see them getting impregnated. Let's see some
we don't see
stingray.
it, he just talks about it.
I was hoping that we. But how do they do that?
So the females are actually the big ones, and the males are the smaller ones.
Okay.
And they like hold them down, and then they insert from above. Yeah, it's interesting.
They're little doms, huh? Little doms.
Yeah. But it's just funny because most people assume the bigger ones are like the males, right? But it's not that way.
Yeah. There you go, ladies. There you go. Come impregnate me, big boy. His poor skin in the sun all day, every day. Who? The guide? Or the stingray? Who are you feeling bad for? I don't know who you're feeling bad. Who should we be feeling bad for here, Reina? Not so fun fact, if you take a selfie with a starfish out of the water, it will die. Is that right?
So here's an interesting thing. I actually have a selfie with a starfish in one of these videos. You can take them out for just a second, but you have to put them right back in the water. So like, they are breathing from the water, so they can hold their breath.
You canceled, Morby. You're spreading misinformation.
But you can't. Amber just asked, have you ever been diving in the Virgin Islands, U.S. or otherwise? Yeah, some of the videos were British Virgin Islands, and in fact, I was snorkeling in the U.S. Virgin Islands while Liz was we were on our baby moon, so she couldn't dive, but we wanted to be in the water, and so the trailer video right now for that YouTube channel is actually snorkeling in the U.S. Virgin Islands. But yeah, both are incredible.
This stingray is like trying to get up on your girl, yo.
I know, you're eating her top for sure. I love that scene.
He's like, yo, what's under here, baby? Let's go. I just want to see these motherfuckers banging. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is I want to see some stingray prawn. That's all we want. Right. We got a would you rather. And nice. So I gotta go get the box. But nice. I went snorkeling at Megan's Bay. The water was so clear compared to other locations.
Yeah. So some of the places are definitely much clearer than others. So clarity in the water is sometimes pollutants, but oftentimes it's just how silty the sand is. So like the finer the sand, the lower the visibility is, especially when it gets kicked up easily, right? So it just depends on what's kind of under it. So actually some of the clearest water you would see is when it's over coral or over much harder and less silty sand. So
that's dope. Yeah, I used to go snorkeling in San Diego at this place called La Jolla Cove, and thank you, baby. We got a Would You Rather box handed to me by my lovely assistant.
Nice. In-person mod.
Yeah, there we go. In-person mods. How you living, motherfuckers? JK, I love everybody. But yeah, man, I used to go snorkeling there, and Garibaldi. There was a lot of Garibaldi, and there was it's tiger sharks are more Florida region, right? Thank you for shouting yourself out, Robbie. And
well, I also wanted people to continuously know what we're also talking about, the Ocean's Harmony as well, if they want to know more about that.
Yes. And Ocean Harmony. And here's and if you want to donate some money to Ocean Harmony, the link is right here underneath that.
And you can go back and check out these videos on YouTube. They're also, the links are there for that. But it's been cool to get to have all these experiences. And I just, I love being able to take my video background. I don't get to make movies very often. And so I find it as an opportunity. I like putting limits on my art. I'm sure as an artist, you understand that. Like, I'm going to have to make this video in 2 days, and it's going to have to do this audio, and it's going to be from this video, and then let's see what happens. Because sometimes if you just leave it up to like, I'll make a video someday about something or a song, and just leave it too open-ended, it's really hard to come back to it. And so Absolutely. I like shooting this stuff on and then editing it in every single day after it,
Oh,
and then
really?
putting it out there the next day and stuff. Just so that way, it's not like real time, but it's almost real time. And so that way, when I come back from the trip, maybe I have a couple more to edit, but I don't have that many. And then that way, I put a month limit. Everything has to be released within a month of me shooting it.
Wow.
Because I just don't, because I don't believe in myself that I'll come back to it. And I just, so I like putting limits on it, whether it's editing it to music or editing, in a time crunch or a topic. And so it's really kind of fun to have these snapshots over the last, my YouTube channel is, I think, 12 years old now, and be able to go back to a lot of these earlier stuff.
Hey, thank you so much, Lady Mythicals. Thank you for that follow. I appreciate that very much.
Nice.
Welcome into the Fresh Fam. We're doing things here. We're here with Robbie, who's who wanted to be a biologist, but worked for Newt Gingrich instead.
Exactly. That's the story. No, when I went to college, I decided I liked art, and the science just wasn't there for me.
So
and,
you went to school for editing, like video editing and stuff?
Yeah. So I
that's
started
dope.
off as an engineer, and I thought I was going to be a programmer. And
wow.
So as I love programming, and I actually started my own web design company when I was in high school. And
Jeez,
I thought that was going to be like the direction that I go. So I started originally doing marine science, but then I was like, nah, I think website design is going to be the way. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll be a coder. And then I got to college, and the coding was okay, but I just didn't love all the additional engineering classes, and it just wasn't my vibe. And I took a graphic design class, and I was like acing that. And I was like, I never thought of myself as an artist because like I have dysgraphia, so I can't like draw shit. Like I can't like anything I draw doesn't come out the way my brain thinks it shows. Right. So I was like, I can't be an artist then. And but then I found out you can use a computer to make art, and then like suddenly I can erase and go back and refine things and learn and practice. And I do it all with the trackpad, which a lot of people find crazy. Like I don't even use a mouse, but like I do all my art, all my graphic design. But if you learn it,
by the way, I do it.
Years,
that's the way I do it too.
The trackpad.
Yeah. It is annoying, by the way.
Yeah, but once you learn how to do it, it becomes like second nature, right?
You're absolutely
so like
right.
I've learned how to do all of the art that way, and then I decided to move over to the art school at Penn, and from there I was taking a bunch of different classes. When you're an art major, they let you take whatever. It's such an open-ended thing compared to engineering. It's like you have to take 26 art classes, but they don't specify it has to be in what. Like there's 5 main courses you have to take. You have to take drawing, you have to take drawing 1, you have to take painting 1, you have to take color theory, you take a couple of like core courses, but beyond that it's like whatever medium you want to do, and then you have to do like a thesis at the end. And so it was a really cool journey. And I was like, if I can I took drawing 1. And I said, like, if I can just survive this class, because that's going to be my hardest thing. Because again, the handwriting is not there, but you have to pass it to be an art major. If I can pass it, I'll switch and become an art major. And I did. And from there, I studied film, animation, and web design. And I like the cross section of interactive art is what I was focusing on. And so my thesis was actually on, I wish Flash still worked on the internet. Because I made a Flash game to my senior thesis, but it's dead because the Flash doesn't probably work on your computer as it doesn't work on mine. So, but which is kind of sad. I made an interactive DVD originally that was a choose your own adventure story. Oh, wow. But it was animation. So it was stop motion animation with video overlaid behind it with the programming of the DVD. And like I did sound effects and did all of it. Basically made this kind of like a choose your own adventure book. But those are awesome. Done on a DVD using DVD menu systems, which is hard to program because they're not made for that. And so it was cool about that is you could put it in any DVD player and use any remote to play it, but you could also put it on old school like Xboxes and PlayStation 2s back in the day because they have DVD players, right? So it was a cross-compatible piece of art, and I actually put it up in a art gallery and people could play through it. And and it reminded me a lot of Robot Chicken. Remember Robot Chicken? Where it's like action figures beating the shit out of each other, right? So that's exactly what it was. It's like you choose who lives or dies is what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And you choose which character lives, and it's very much like Mortal Kombat. There were Mortal Kombat action figures as well as G.I. Joe ones, and they would just do this like gory, really over the top animated death scenes.
So
and
you animated it yourself?
Yeah, animated everything, all the stop motion, all the programming, all the backgrounds, everything.
So
sound
it was
effects.
stop motion with actual like little like
Action figures. Yeah.
Oh my
So I sat there doing all the different motions and stuff like that. So it was like Tim Burton meets Mortal Kombat meets like
Robot Chicken.
Robot Chicken. And like I was very inspired by back in the day with like the claymations. Do you remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
Absolutely.
Remember that
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that.
Yeah, so that was kind of like what I was looking to make, something like that. And ultimately, I stayed in college an extra year, and I just to take some additional courses and to finish up. Also, I started as an engineering, so I needed a couple more courses to finish it off. And I actually made a flash game ultimately of the DVD one, so that way people could play it remotely. And I actually made a bunch of really cool flash games while I was in college. One was we were talking about Ghost in the Shell earlier. I made one for Ghost in the Shell that I ultimately got to show the creators of the anime in Japan, which is a crazy whole other story. But like,
let's hear it, baby. Let's go.
So like, my grandmother took me to Japan when she was 90 years old, and my dad was ambassador at the time, and he talked to some people over the Japanese embassy and said, look, my son is super into animation. He was studying it in college. Like, is there any way that he could get a tour of Production IG? And they were like, no, Americans really don't do that, blah, blah, blah. And he said, well, it'd be really cool. And so they let me in with her.
Whoa.
And they told me there that they had only let one other American into their studio in the last 10 years. And I don't know if you know this guy named Quentin Tarantino. He did Kill Bill.
Oh, yeah, little known guy. Little known filmmaker out of Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, I might have heard of something. I might have heard him.
He wanted to do Kill Bill from them, and they wouldn't do it for him, the animated scenes. And so he then showed up on their doorstep and said, look, I'm here. Will you please have this conversation with me? And they let him in, and they actually stopped working on Ghost in the Shell 2 to animate the scenes from Kill Bill that are like super gory that they had to like, you know, and so Production IG does that. And they were like, yeah, you guys are like the only Americans we've ever like let in. And I was like, oh shit. Like, but it was so cool to watch the process. And I actually got to meet the writer of it. At the time they were airing it dubbed on Cartoon Network. And I hadn't seen the last episode of the series because it was happening while I was in Japan. And the guy was like, well, do you want me to tell you what happened? I was like, no, I want to see it myself, which he thought was really cool. But I had made this flash game that was designed after his stuff, and I got to, like, I said, do you have like the internet? Can I show you something real quick? And he's like, sure. And I go on my website. I still have webandgames.com to this day, and it exists. If we could play Flash, it's still on the server. It was really cool to get to show him a piece of art that I created based on his anime. And
that is so fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, so it's like, it was a really cool journey to learn about the interactivity of and I'm still super into it. One of the things I love about Twitch is like our ability to have like fresh bars, and they activate something that can appear on screen. Right. Or you know, I've worked with you know, Mike Bass music, you know, and help him create animations that pop up when you're like click the Garfield button and Garfield comes into his scene or whatever, you know, like, and it's cool to work with different creators and on how to make it interactive. It's one of the things I love about Twitch is, you know, I have Pokemon catching on my stream. People can catch Pokemon, they can appear on the screen, like, you know, and you know, how can we make this interactive and not just be a piece of media that we consume, but like actually can influence.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. That was one of the big things for me too. And speaking of influencing and interacting, let's see, Robbie Gross, would you, oh God, this is horrible. Nice. Would you rather,
my first one ever on the show. I love it.
Would you rather discover that your spouse doesn't really love you, or discover a toilet cam in your own bathroom?
Definitely the toilet cam.
Yeah,
right?
me too. That's easy.
Like, I don't care. People want to see that one. Go for it. But like,
I mean, it would be a little bit weird though.
One's heartbreaking and the other's just slightly embarrassing. Maybe I don't.
Or the cops are involved, right?
Right. Exactly.
Or you got to call that deep state dad of yours. Be like, listen, Dad, there's a camera in my toilet, and I don't know if they're trying to get to me to get to you. I don't know what's going on, but they need to know.
That's the way they're going to get to us.
That's how they're going to get to us. Toilet cam. Obs. I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, it would suck. It would suck to. Yeah, that was the easy one. We're going to do another one. That one was too easy.
Easy.
Yeah, I know. The other one's too. Exactly, Carly. Exactly. Let's see. Would you rather own a real lightsaber or own a real Infinity Stone? That's nice.
Oh. Well, maybe it depends on the stone.
Yeah,
I'm trying
which
to think
stone?
it through. Right, which stone?
I would go for the time.
The time stone is right. Like that's the one because that's the thing. I always wish I had more time. Like, and then I could like create more content and do all the things that I do. And so, if it's the time stone, I'm picking that. But if it's any other stone, I'm probably picking the lightsaber.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm going with the Infinity Stone myself. What do you guys think? Do you think Infinity Stone? Yeah, Infinity Stone. Yeah, I'm guessing that one's easy too. Come on. Would you rather give us some Doctor Strange, baby?
The functionality of a lightsaber. It's like, what can you really do?
What am I gonna do? Go like cut down a tree? Like I'm not gonna go kill people with it. Oh, I got this lightsaber and cut your fucking arm off. Like what are you gonna do with it? Like you're gonna impress the neighborhood kids? I don't know. Like what is?
I'll probably chop my own arm off.
Exactly.
Exactly.
End up hurting somebody you love more than you actually fucking have fun.
Yeah,
with
like people say guns are dangerous in the household. Right. I can only imagine what a lightsaber would do. Right?
Lady Mythicals. That's a tight name. Okay, we're doing another one because that one was too easy too. Would you rather have feet that smell like sewage, or would you rather your partner's breath smell like Parmesan cheese? I feel like that's easy too.
It's like what I like Parmesan cheese. What's wrong with that?
Exactly.
What is this? Where would you rather? This is really.
It's supposed to be filthy. It's supposed to be like pushing boundaries here of what's acceptable.
Who hates Parmesan that much that they'd rather have sewage feet? I don't know.
Exactly. This is some bullshit, man. I'm gonna dig deep here. Let's go down to deep because now we're in it. Now we're fucking in this. And I'm not gonna.
We're gonna find one that's a real competition,
right? Because I mean, none of this was perverted. I mean, I was thinking like perverted stuff, but like this is like some bullshit here. Okay, here we go. All right, here's something then. All right. This is ridiculous. Would you rather have your sex tape in IMAX with surround sound or have your sex tape in ultra high definition 3D?
So the question is the audio or the visual better? Is that what we're distilling this down to?
It's IMAX with surround sound or ultra high definition 3D. Yeah. That wasn't what I was
feel
mentioning.
Strongly about either of those, but like 3D seems pretty cool.
That's what I meant to do. 3D, that would be cool. But now don't answer the question. Yeah, who's watching? That's the real question. Okay, but this is on display. Let's turn up the stakes. This is on display for the public. We can sell tickets. Exactly, Primordial. So, answer again and think about it as a public display. Would you rather have in IMAX or in ultra high definition 3D? Robbie Gross.
So it's on. Would so it's a question of like on demand, so everyone can get it in 3D all the time, or like everyone has to go to see it in IMAX.
You have to go see it. I mean, in ultra high definition 3D too. It's like because you have to provide like 3D glasses and shit, so there's like overhead costs and shit.
I used to know if people are watching this like on the like VR. Like, is it something that's being like piped into all the different households? Because I feel like the barrier to like having a lot of people watch it, I feel like not that many go to IMAX, but if it's like piped into VR, then everyone's watching it. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess.
And like, am I making revenue off of this, or is it just like
I'm guessing
somebody else is making all the money off of it?
I'm guessing you're going to be making the money. I mean,
so do you want more people to see it or not? I guess it's the question.
It's true.
Right?
What is that? I mean, how much? Wait, how much have
Am
you
I
invested?
making enough? Where it's,
Yeah,
like,
how
worth
much have you
my
put
time?
into this project? Honestly, how much did you dump into this project? It's like this is your
Seems like
grand
an expensive
idea.
endeavor.
It's
So
too
if
expensive.
I'm trying to make money, I guess the answer is the 3D. If I'm not trying to make money, I'm trying to suppress the views, then I guess it's the IMAX.
Okay, we're going full in with Would You Rather now. This is just too fun. Would you rather be a cheerleader in a Friday the 13th movie, or be
So
a
dead.
or be a woman in the first act of James Bond movie? So
So dead there too,
yeah,
right?
either one. So would you honestly go ahead? I want to hear your.
It's like it's whether you want to be killed by a Bond villain or like Freddy Krueger or whatever, or like
no, Jason Voorhees.
Jason Bourne. Yeah. I think I'd rather go out Bond way. I feel like they die quicker.
Yeah, I feel like it's like James Bond. Yeah, totally. I mean, because at least if anything, you're having a good row with James, right? I hear he's
right. There you go.
He's
the best in bed, right? At least you're going out with a bang, if you will.
Exactly, right? Bro. And like, the way women orgasm, I mean, I want to just know that. Like that's an interesting thing also about like the Neuralink and what the possibilities are, is that people are actually going to be able to live out their, like, what if I want to become a real woman and actually feel the senses. Like if you read, what's the book? Oh my God, they made a movie, Ready Player 2. Ready Player 2 kind of gets into it where, because they have like a similar idea where like it's like Neuralink, but it's like a thing that you put on your head, and you can go and experience what it's like to do heroin. You can experience what it's like to be a woman and have all
that's
these.
what the second book's about, because I saw the first movie and I like that.
Oh yeah, but, it's Neuralink orgasm, baby. There you go. Yeah, it's not a spoiler because I didn't tell him the ending. Unlike some people who tell endings, Reina. Like, it's a great book, but like to actually go and that would be so awesome, because when you see like when you see ladies like busting nuts, it's like earth shattering. For dudes, it's such a like a it's so ugly. But when a girl does it, it's just like they're convulsing and shit. I mean, that has to be amazing. I mean, okay.
There's some other sci-fi movies. I'm trying to remember what they were, where I remember them putting on helmets and like experience sex through that, and I'm trying to remember which one it was, but I remember seeing those kids, and so I mean that idea has been around for a while.
Of course, yeah. No, Ready Player One, or I mean, even Neuralink. The idea of Neuralink comes from sci-fi, but that's how these things sort of work. Like the submarine was
Demolition Man. Thank you. That's the movie.
Demolition Man, Neuralink. There you go.
Yeah. That, the beginning of the movie, I think, is talking about that.
Oh yeah, because they connect with they put on their helmets, and she's like, "Let's have sex," and he's like, "All right, baby." It's sliced out. He's like, "All right."
I knew I'd seen a movie as a kid that was about that. That was exactly it.
And then they put their fucking helmets on. He's like, "Oh, what's the business? I don't know about this." Sandra Bullock, Sandra Bear, Sandy B, what's up? Oh, that was really loud. Sorry, everybody. Sorry about that, guys. That was rude. Reina, did you ever put together the game? Did you ever put together the how much does it cost on Craigslist? No. Okay, let's do another Would You Rather, and then if Reina put together a game, we're gonna play a game and we're gonna give away prizes. We haven't played this game in a very long time, so and I think I want to give away. It's in Canva as a presentation. I've never done Canva as a presentation. I have no idea what that means. Okay, we're gonna switch over. Let's switch over here for a second. What now? How much does it cost on Craigslist? Yeah, Amber, you remember that game? You've been around for a while, huh? Okay, hold on. Let's do one more Would You Rather, and then we're gonna do a game because Robbie has to get off here in about 20 minutes, and so he can set. You're gonna stream tonight, correct? That's what you're doing.
No, I have to drop off a car so my wife can get home.
Oh.
life things.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, I guess that's more important than talking about fucking being a woman and Neuralink and having
Neuralink.
earth-shattering orgasms.
Hopefully, I have enough time to talk about both today. You know, so
You'd be like, your wife is like, so what was it about? Oh, we were just talking
Right.
about what it'd be like to have earth-shattering orgasms as a woman on Neuralink.
yeah, too bad that she's got the Oculus and I don't have a second one, right? Yeah, so.
Okay, we're gonna do another Would You Rather while I figure out how a presentation works. I don't even know what that means really, but we're gonna figure that out. Okay, so we're gonna do one more Would You Rather. Okay, Would you rather, Robbie Gross? Would you rather find out the shape of that new IKEA table is inspired by your body part, or find out that your body fluid has become the new flavor of Snapple? Would you rather?
This one's actually an interesting one. Maybe the best one we've done so far. Ooh, that's a tough one.
All you have to do.
Interesting one. Maybe the best one.
Oh, sorry. Of whom? Of yourself.
Of yourself.
All you have to do.
So I think it's the first one.
The first one, you'd rather have your body part be an IKEA
Sure.
furniture. Okay, Reina's trying to tell me what to do. Reina, mute the stream, and then you're gonna be on. Then you're gonna
All
be.
you have to do is go into Canva and open up the most recent thing that I've made, and then you just click present, and it'll be full screen.
Oh, I don't know if we can do full screen though with Robbie. Oh, I see. Oh.
You'll figure it
Oh
out.
God.
I believe in you.
Okay. All right. Oh Jesus. Oh, she hung up on me. And she's like, "All right, you'll figure it
He's
out."
on a random map.
All right. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. All right. So body flavor. You'd go with body flavor. Yeah. Let's go with body flavor. I think I would go with body flavor too, just because I'm a portly gentleman who's very unshapely. I don't care for the shape of my body. I've come to accept who I am, but I don't think it would make great. Well, maybe it would make a great coffee table because I'm sort of like a grimace shape, like I'm pear shaped. So like maybe that would be a good coffee table. I'm gonna go with one. Because I can't imagine that my body fluid of any sort tastes very good at all.
Yeah, I'm with you. I
You
think
can
that.
You can download it as a PDF and it makes it easier. I don't. Maybe.
If you put it on if the Canva is on a browser source, right? So you should be able to do it right next to.
Oh
the
yeah,
same
and I
source
could
that you
share.
were
Oh,
doing.
this is how I used to do it. Yeah, I shared the screen, and I share it. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go play this game quickly, guys, and we're gonna be giving away stickers and hell with it. I'm gonna give away a fucking T-shirt. IKEA. Carley's gonna I'm gonna give away a WSEG T-shirt on the last one. So we're gonna give away stickers, and then I'll give away a T-shirt, and I'll ship it anywhere in the world. So wherever you're at, we're gonna we're going. Let's go. So I don't even know if this thing's still set up. I haven't played this game in so long. Okay, guys, we're gonna play How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist. Let's go. Play some games. Let's do it now. Let's do it now. Hey, there's Robbie. Hold on. Let me share the screen. Let me see. Share the browser. Share. And then present. Present. Boom! Hey, look at that. All right, let's kill the music here, and then there's Robbie. Let's make Robbie bigger. There's Robbie. Oh, and there's that thing as well.
Map.
Hold on. Let me kill. What is this thing? What is that? Oh, we don't want that. We got Robbie right here. All right, guys, this is How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist. It's just how it sounds. We're gonna look at a picture, and we're gonna read the listing, and then we're gonna guess how much it costs in Craigslist in the chat. And
I like how I'm a window within a window within a window.
You're damn right you are. You're goddamn right. That's how we're doing things these days. So for the first two things, we're gonna give away stickers. So we're gonna give. I don't have stickers on me. I don't know where they're at, but I'll send you a prize pack. A prize pack of
like
stickers.
Vanna White. I could be like, look
Yes,
this guy.
yes, you can. Yes, and you will. because you're my mod and you're still on duty. So
I'm still on the clock.
you're still on the clock, Robbie. You get paid the big bucks for this.
Right.
This is why you get paid the big bucks. All right, so here we go. Save your Inception. Save your bids until after I read it. Just wait until I okay, so the chat's still here. Okay, good. I never set it up on here. Okay, oh my God, here we go. Reina. So this is a Leroy Naaman estate sale. Divorce forcing downsizing. Aw, that's fucked up. Thanks, Reina. Bummer Town. Divorce forcing downsizing and selling some of Naaman's best. Listed below from our collection are great Naaman buys framed and ready to hang in perfect condition at less than wholesale or less than any found online on eBay or Craigslist. Only one of each. Never find again. Please email or call for any questions. Make an Easter package offer. I like the salesmanship here. I really do. And also, way to bum us out, bro. Mighty. Thank you for gift subbing Chaotic Decks that gifted sub. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mighty. All right, and we're going to hook it up. Okay. Thank you, Mighty, for that gifted sub. Okay, we're going to run through this because Robbie's got to go soon. So, okay, guys, how much do you think this item costs on Craigslist? And we'll start with Robbie. Robbie, how much does this item cost on Craigslist?
I'm going to go $20.
$20 for Robbie. Okay, guys, drop your bids in here. Okay, it can only be one number, okay? Morby, you get 450 euros. I don't know, $400, but 2,000 sounds good. So which one, Morby? 499. Zen says $499. 20 for Robbie. What do we got here? Lily. I don't know what that means. Lily.
My dog was walking back and forth through this.
Okay. Morby says 400. Amber says 250. Moving Dutchman says $99 overbidding. Oh, look at you. Aren't you an art critic all of a sudden? Cute dogs. Go ahead and drop your bids, guys. We're gonna give you until the end of. I used to do the other thing, but I can't. What is the other thing now? Here we go. Drop those bids. Let's go. Drop those bids. Lily! Okay. All right. Is that it? Yeah. Cute dog. Let's see it. Let's see the dog. Oh, she's ready to go. Since we're running out of time, we're only gonna do 2 of these. So we'll do this one, and this one's for the stickers, and the next one will be for a T-shirt. So, all right, we're gonna Reina Mystique.
My dog is intense.
That's all right. We appreciate your dog being intense. Dogs deserve to be intense. Is your dog protective?
She's very loyal. Like when we go to the dog park, she'll like stay right by our sides. And
That's
stuff
great.
Like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you think?
She's a gigantic puppy. People don't realize she's only a year old.
Oh.
And she's like here. I'll turn a little bit. So
Look at that little puppy.
Yeah. So she's a part boxer. So she's gonna become. I mean, she already is huge. So
Very adorable. Very adorable. Is she rambunctious like a boxer?
Oh yeah, she's got all the puppy energy right now. That's why she was outside. I was hoping she'd just run in the field. Now she's attacking the cat.
What a cute cow. What a cute pet cow. Okay, so we got this going, and we're just gonna start reading off these bids, the things now. So let me see what we got here. Morby says 400. Amber says 250. 20 for Robbie. Oshi Rai Zen says Oshi Ryzen. Oh, I get it. $4.99. And let's see. Moving Dutchman said $99. Carley says $10. And let's go see. Let's see how much it costs. So the actual price. Oops. Oh wait, there's a command. I forgot. Oh my god, this is how long I haven't done this, guys. What is it? Drums? Is that the command? Damn it. I don't even remember it. This is how long it's been. I was like, Reina, do something. Okay, never mind. All right. Actual retail price on Craigslist is 1,000. Oh, drum roll. Thank you. Go drum. Oh my God. I forgot. Actual retail price 1,900 US doll hairs. Who had it? Who had that? Who had that? $4.99. Thank you. So you didn't win, Oshi. Carley sure as hell didn't win. Moving Dutchman. I think Morby won.
I think
Morby put put 400. So whoever's close. I'm sorry guys. You can do whoever's closest. That's where we're going. And you can go over in price, like the Price is Right. But I didn't explain the rules. I'm still tripping. I'm still on drugs, everybody. So I'm sorry. My bad.
I'm still impressed at how well you can host a podcast on shrooms. I definitely couldn't myself. So you're doing great.
Okay, I'll do the third one next. Okay, so we're gonna do the third one next. So not this one. This one. Oh my God. New fiberglass 20-foot shrimp mount. So here is, you were way off, Carley. But so this one is for the, okay, so Morby, you're getting another prize pack. Morby just got a prize pack, but you get another one, Morby.
Yeah, all the prize packs.
Morby got a prize pack. We'll send you something different this time, Morby. Okay, so this is for a t-shirt. This is for a t-shirt, a WSEG t-shirt right off the Threadless store. And this will be our let's go, so many stickers. Well, you know what, Morby, I have your address already, so I'll just send you something special. Don't worry, I got you, G. I got you, G. All right, so we're gonna give away a WSEG t-shirt for this one because I'm feeling generous, y'all. I'm feeling generous. And if you win, go ahead and you can whisper me, or you can get in the Discord and shoot me a direct message. And send over your mailing address if you care to share it with me. I'm in Ohio, so I'm not going to show up at your house or anything. It's like...
Unless you live in Ohio and want to.
Yeah. If you live in Ohio, I might show up at your house looking for some food or a giant shrimp mount.
Sure.
Okay, so new fiberglass 20-foot shrimp mount. Pickup only on this item. Contact me for shipping. And
so is that's real size? So
yeah, it's
like
a 20-foot. Look, yeah. So here's the dude. You can't. I'm sorry, guys. It's so small, but here's the guy for reference. Here he is, and here's the shrimp mount. It's fiberglass. I mean, that's legit. That's a legit work too. That's not easy to do there. That is not easy to do there. Pickup only on this item. Contact me for shipping and delivery costs. 20-foot shrimp mount. We have 2 colors to choose from: ocean color or cook color. Wait a second. Wait a second.
They've made more than one of them.
There's more than one, folks. There's more than one.
Limited edition, but not so limited.
Yeah. There we go. Lady Mythicals.
I'm going with $300 just for raw materials alone.
I mean, it has to be. New, beautiful, life-size, handmade, customized fiberglass mounts. Each one is made new for you from scratch. Oh, wait. They make them on demand.
Yeah, we have 3,000 molds in stock to choose from, so they have other things.
Holy hell.
Other giant sea life.
Holy shit, everybody. This is amazing. This is the world we live in. Folks, the world we live in. Okay.
I can only imagine if I got one of these and my wife comes home after her long trip and found a 20-foot shrimp in our basement. I'm sure it would go well.
20-foot shrimp. Okay. What's your bid? What's your bid, Robbie?
I'm going $300.
$300 for Robbie. Moving Dutchman says 3,450 doll hairs and 99 cents. All right, guys, drop your bids. Drop them in the chat. Let's go. Oh, my God, that was too loud. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to do this. What is it? Hold on. Let's go. This is for a t-shirt. This is for all the bananas. Let's go. You guys have more time. I know I'm rushing you. Go ahead and drop your bids, everybody. Drop your bid. Oh, Carley coming in $2,100. Watch out. Somebody wants that t-shirt. Let's go. Let's go. I wish Reina can't play. Mighty Mighty, are you there? Mighty Mighty just gift subbed and just rolled out. She's just like, I think Mighty Mighty's traveling. I think that's the problem. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a few more seconds here. Or a few more. I'm going to give you guys about a few more minutes. I'll give you guys about 20 more minutes to drop a
1
bit.
year is all you get, the amount of time.
You only get 10 light years, okay? You only get 10 light years, and then we're gonna
while they're doing it, we can get.
There we go. There we go. Moving Dutchman says, let's move it along, folks. That's hard to guess, but carnival ride thingies are made of that, so that can't be so expensive. Maybe 4,000 tops. Don't count me. I won already. Morby, come on. You want a t-shirt or not? Come on, let's go. Morby, it's okay. You can win again, Morby. You can win again. So where are you gonna go? Between 400 and 4,000? You gotta pick a number. You gotta pick a number.
Between 1 and 1 million. Yeah.
All right, Morby. If you don't bid, if you don't bid, then you're banned. Well, damn, that was the rate. Well, come on, let's hear it. Let's hear
a number. We got a number.
We're waiting for you. We're not going any further until Morby bids. There we go.
There we go. I love it.
For 2069. Okay, guys. Moving Dutchman, you jumped the gun a little early, but hey, that's okay. We're gonna do it again. Go. What is it? Go drum. Jeez. Go drum. I don't remember my own command. Thank you, Moving Dutchman. And the actual retail price on Craigslist is $22,999.
22. What?
22,999.
Wow, chat was not close.
That's okay.
Is actually the fourth. I think that's where I made it one.
I think this one is Amber. $22,000. Who is spending? Hold on. Who is spending $22,000 on a stupid ass? I'm sorry. This is this person's business, but I'm sorry. This is not. Cherish their art. Yeah, you know what? Amber Dreamfire for the win! Oh shit. That was awesome. You win a shrimp. That's right. Amber, drop in. You can either whisper me your address and tell me your shirt size, and I can send you the link to the thing, and you can pick out a color that you like, and we'll do that. We'll get you out a t-shirt. Thank you guys so much for playing along. I appreciate it. We haven't done that in months. All right, let's go back and say our proper goodbyes to our guest today, who was such a good sport, and also our wonderful mod, who is a hold on, let me see here. Where are we going here?
Right, you say such a good sport. Like, we didn't even talk sports very much today.
I know we were supposed to. Go ahead.
But I love talking, videos and scuba diving and all the different topics. I know that you had one news story about a guy getting punched out on an airplane. So I'm excited for you to. I don't know if you're still going to talk about the news.
I'll probably still do some news here after you go. That's
yeah, I mean, that's an interesting story. I mean, I would never try to provoke Mike Tyson.
No.
Yeah, that seems like a bad move.
And here's the link.
Yeah, I mean, if people, definitely make sure that people keep giving to giving the Giving in Harmony link that's that charity raid train that I was a part of. If they go to my Twitch channel, you can see a 2-hour hockey podcast where we did talk more about that last night. Tomorrow, I am back on my normal Sports on the Hill podcast, so we'll talk hockey for the first 40 minutes, talk a little baseball, and then about the NBA playoffs and stuff like that. And so it'll be a busy show. I wasn't on last week. I was away. So I'm excited to be back on there. And then sportsothp.com, which is like the second half of my handle. You have all the old podcasts, including the video from last night. You can also find our merchandise, which is like things that I'm wearing, and our YouTubes, and we're on all the different social medias. I don't know if any of you guys are on Facebook, but if you do like Washington, D.C. sports, facebook.com/sportsothp has all of the latest like news between our weekly podcasts and stuff like that. It's been really a cool journey. It's hard to imagine that we're on season 7 now. Like, I know that we both started our podcast around the same time. And,
yeah, that's wild, man.
It's been an incredible journey, and I love being able to, have found Twitch 3 years ago now, and just before the pandemic, and I made all these great friends with people like Carley and Reina, and
hey, Carley, you're gonna have to come on next. You're up, Carley.
Yeah,
you're up.
Yeah, you should come on.
Pizza, what's up? You're good, buddy. I love you, baby.
She's got a brand new single out, "Wasted" by Carly B. Definitely check
that out. Let's go. Let's give a shout out to Carly B.
I actually made the music video for it, the lyric video.
Oh, that's sick.
You want to pull it up real fast, and then we'll listen to it real quick, and then
do I have your permission, Carly? Is that okay?
Yeah.
She's like, no, you weirdo. You guys were talking about explosive orgasms and Neuralink. I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole.
Who knows? Maybe it's a whole new, group of people might know. Check it out. Here's the link. I'm sending it to it in the chat. But yeah, it was cool. A cool little lyric video that I made. You'll like. I
didn't mean to cancel you, buddy. Life is you know what we're not doing we'll do music news tomorrow night, guys, so we're not gonna do music news because I'm realizing that I'm just fucking fried out of my brain. So let's watch this video, and maybe Carly will come on the show eventually one day. Maybe
if we haven't scared her off too much.
I feel like we've scared her off, but it happens. And I'm gonna sub to you on this. No one wants Bill Gates vaccine for fear of microchip, but Elon microchip, yes. Okay. Pizza Man, always the rival rouser. Okay, let's see this. It's called "Wasted" by Carly B. So let's check it out, guys.
Those I could
There it is, everybody. The latest single from Carly B. Everybody give her a round of applause. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Well, that's my question. What was your question? My only question is, where is here? Oh, you don't want to know, bro. You don't want to know. You can rewind.
But yeah, it's fun. I've always
VOD.
wanted to do like music videos and be video editor and stuff like that. So it's really been fun to help Carly, and she mods for me and I mod for her.
Oh,
And,
rad.
it's been really fun to be a part of these relationships. Same thing with Andy, Primordial Sounds. I mod for him and he mods for me. And just the relationships that we're able to build across Twitch, and the intersection between art and music and culture. And it's just such an inspiring thing. And I just wish I had more time to make more movies and do more stuff. With a day job, as you know, it's like it's always a juggle. And but it's really cool to spend time on trips and on weekends and trying to have it. My son really loves these videos that we do about our trips together.
Aww.
And it's cool that we can use stuff like Carly's let me use a bunch of her she does a bunch of covers for subscribers and lets me use those as the backing tracks for them. And it's kind of a sneaky way that I can get my son into the music that I love. Because once I put a video of him to a song that I like, he suddenly falls in love with it. So we've had Mike with Mike Bass Music. I've put on some of his songs, and so now whenever he hears it, like, it's the baseball song, and it's because I made a video about him going to his first baseball game too. And so it's cool to watch the growth of him and music, and he's super into AJR right now, and he's into the Gorillas and a bunch of really interesting bands, and it's just really cool. Music's been such an inspirational part of my life, and I'm not a musician myself, but I've always gravitated towards music people, and I love to help them, and then obviously use their music as a soundtrack to my life, and be able to have these snapshots that we can take forward. And if we get 50, 100 views, great, but regardless, like, he's going to have these and he can show it to his children someday. And, it's, I was always inspired. My parents took a lot of photos, and we had made photo albums and stuff like that. But it's like, you have to go to look at those photo albums and take that time. But here I could put it on YouTube and he can watch it on his iPad, or he can, take these songs with him, these moments with him for the rest of his life.
Oh, that's so sweet, man. That is so fucking sweet. I love that. Yeah, I incorporate Saucy into my videos too, and it's just fun incorporating your kids, like just having them be a part of the process. Like he'll film with me. He'll film and like he'll be behind the camera. He'll be like giving me suggestions and stuff. Like, oh, try it like this, and it's just so cool. As soon as you start introducing the art, and kids are so creative naturally anyways, and it's sort of only after they get older that society beats that out of them, and they go to public school or wherever they end up going, and then they're like, sit down and look forward and shut the fuck up and don't say this.
I'm lucky. He'll probably go to my school, which is really an inspirational place for creativity. It's why I've worked there for 12 years and went there for 10. And it's for kids with mild to moderate learning issues, but they really try to focus on the arts and the creativity side to it, because a lot of you and I both have ADD. We've talked about this before, and those people are still highly creative and they're highly functioning. They just can't do some of the basic shit that is expected of them by society for some reason.
Like close cupboards. I can't close cupboards for some reason.
Right, exactly.
It's just impossible.
Right. And we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. It's like, how do you play to those? And I love that too, because he's, Zach's such a ham. He literally likes to play it up for the camera.
Willow Keys, welcome in, buddy. Willow, thank you so much for coming in here. Oh my gosh.
I didn't even know Will was doing a music stream. I thought today was his vocal rest day. So
but what the heck, Will? Why are you working on your rest
cool.
day? Oh, my legs.
I actually mod over on Willow Keys, and so that's really cool that he's bringing the people over. Hey, Anna. Hey, Schmuckers.
We got. I know you gotta go, man. So,
well, I'll stay for an extra couple minutes.
All right.
Now Will's here, I'm gonna have to stay. At least to say hi.
Let's go. All right, we're gonna do a
raid song.
We're gonna do a raid song, and we're gonna just keep Robbie on with. Oh wait, I think I can put Robbie on with us. Welcome everybody to my podcast. This is a music podcast. Sometimes we get a little wacky. we get a little wacky and we start talking about stuff, or sometimes the host will take drugs and then see if he can do a podcast. So hey, here we are. Not the hard stuff, guys. Not the hard stuff. Hold on. Let's see. Where is
You were
it?
playing Jackbox Party Pack over on the music channel? I'm so confused
How
by that.
dare you do that?
It's like
There
we
it
have a
is.
gaming channel, but I'm so confused. But I'm excited.
Oh, this is not Hype Train. Okay, guys, this is a raid song. There we go. There we go. Now we're ready for love. Now we're ready for love. All right, guys, this is my raid song / Hype Train song. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Welcome in. This is a music podcast. My name is Mike. This is We Speak English Good, or WSEG TV. We're also on audio stuff too. We talk to musicians and creatives about all kinds of weird stuff. And welcome in. Will has been on the show, and let's do this. Let's do it. It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Yes, tacos. No need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining taco. It's raining Willow. Out in the streets, yes, Willow. All you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's raining Willow. Yum, yum, yummity yum. It's like a dream. Yeah, yum, yum, yummity yum. More sour cream. It's raining willows. Ooh, willows. Ooh, willows. Ooh, it's raining willows. It's raining willows. Out in the streets, yes, willows. All you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's raining Willow Keys. It's raining Willow, everybody. Everybody, it's raining Willow. Thank you so much, Willow Keys, for that raid. Bah!
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so is Willow.
So I mod for you, I mod for Carly, I mod for Primordial Sounds and Willow Keys. So it's what a fun stream.